Team Podcast. We love sports just like you.
Welcome to the Team Podcast, episode 066. My name is Nash, host of the Team Podcast. Oh, I don't even know how to go now. On the ones and twos, we got the great DJ Smythe.
Wow, not a DJ.
I froze for 1 second.
You really did.
I froze for a second. I was like, oh, no Wells. Anyway, with us, KCJ Ford.
Don't forget the J.
And Mark.
Wow. Mark.
You don't have an intro.
Hey, the Alchemist trainer, geez.
Oh, there you go. You know what? I think you should reintroduce him.
I've never introduced him like that way. He doesn't have an intro. I'm sorry. He doesn't have an intro.
You know what? I'll do it for you. And we have with us today the Alchemist trainer.
Mark Calendar, geez.
Wow.
That's
not a last name.
I have never, ever done that. Sorry, the reason let me pull the curtain right here, because we never actually mentioned it. Well, we did. We have mentioned it. Yeah, Wells is no longer on the Team Podcast because he got a new job opportunity.
You make it seem like he got fired. Like he's no longer here.
You kicked him like he's dead.
He's no longer on the podcast.
Wow.
Did I say something wrong? He's no longer on the podcast.
But the way you made it seem was like he's no longer here. Like he got fired.
Like
How about something like that?
We're still gonna have him on
I
the podcast.
just said he got a new job opportunity, but he's no longer a regular.
Yeah, he's not gonna be a regular.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Wells. I got you.
Shout out to Wells, man. We're really happy for you, buddy, and we hope you're very successful in your new role. Don't get too used to sitting in a chair in the office all day. You'll end up like Casey over here, just miserable and grumpy and drinking wine all day.
First of all, I'm very pleasant.
I am beautiful.
Nobody knows you like we do.
I mean, he won't be on here full time, but you know. But our loss is the horseplays gain. Like you can still hear him on the horseplay, and yeah, now him and DeFeo will be in the same room, so that will make the horseplay better, the horseplay podcast better.
Hopefully.
So tune into that. But anyway, we're here. We're doing a team podcast. So what's going on, guys? What is going on?
Not much. The weather's up and down, pretty much. And
Weather sucks here. So
Smash on that. The Raptors are in the NBA.
I knew.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to that. Like, relax. Yes. Anyway, but
we have a protocol to run here, man.
we're gonna get to
I
that.
don't care if Lake Ontario is about to flood over. People have to evacuate the island.
You hear about that?
That's exactly what's happening.
Every year it happens. Every year. So, like, a couple days ago, like, I was sweating outside. I had, like, just a t-shirt and everything. The very next day, I had to put my winter jacket back on because it was that cold.
It didn't get that cold back.
I was working outside in the rain.
We got 4 seasons in 1 week, is what we got over here.
Hey, man, it's
old Toronto.
It's one of those weird starts to like the spring, summer.
Yeah.
And they're gonna quote unquote say it's supposed to be the hottest summer ever.
Global warming. Man.
I was gonna say
global warming.
It better be 40 degrees every day for at least a month.
Soon you'll see palm trees up in Toronto. Mark my words.
And I'll be happy. I don't understand.
Well, we're going to go see.
The rest of it will be underwater, but
everyone can't have good weather all the time, right? The world changes.
Well, we're going to go see palm trees.
Yep.
Like next week, so.
Is there palm trees there?
Yeah.
I think so.
Are there palm trees in the
I was there last year.
desert.
The answer is
Arizona.
The answer is yes.
Is it?
Are you sure?
Not a lot. Palm trees and cacti.
He was just there last year, so he would know.
Okay. I don't know if Phoenix have palm trees.
Are they real though?
They're real. Come on.
I'm just saying it's
For
a
real
desert.
ones?
I'm surprised it is a desert. I'm surprised there's palm trees there.
Well, palm trees can survive in that kind of climate, no?
No.
I don't think so, but they usually found in tropical environments.
Yeah. Hot, warm environments. Like they're all in California and stuff like
desert,
that.
though. It doesn't have
I
no water.
don't know. Again, Smythe was just there.
I'm going to take a picture for you guys.
Well, we'll see.
You know what? Google could answer this for us, but none of us are going to check.
No. Don't
Gotta go see it yourself.
Don't Google. We don't Google anything.
Yeah, that's too easy, but whatever.
That's too easy. I'd just rather go back and forth.
I'd rather travel there and look for myself.
Anything going on with your week, Casey? Smythe?
Nah, it's been a crazy week.
He's gonna complain about work again. Use this podcast.
I was about to go into how my work week was, but I'm not going to do it this time.
It's a great week, though.
It's hump day. It's not much.
There you go. It's almost over.
Yeah, works great. I guess I can't talk about the Raptors, so I won't say nothing.
We'll get there, man.
I know. Relax, bro.
Like, come on.
Jeez.
Like, you're so excited about it.
I am.
Like, they never in the
even
finals.
Though
before.
I what's it called when you call the wrong team to win?
Oh, you said the Bucks would win?
Yeah, you said the Bucks would win.
Prediction?
Prediction.
You know what? You don't
I
get
did
to
a bad
enjoy this
prediction.
moment. You don't get to enjoy
I
it.
remember did saying I want the Raps to win. But,
Yeah, but you said
those
yeah.
first two games.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But anyway, yep.
We'll get there. And then you can have your moment.
Damn right.
Question for you guys. Do you remember your earliest sports moment?
I got mine.
Actually going to an event, though.
Yep.
Actually going to an event.
Wow.
You can think of something. Smythe got one.
My earliest sports moment was WrestleMania 6.
Oh, God.
What was that for, Mark?
That's not a sport.
You changed the.
It is not a sport.
That's
first
fine.
and
That's
foremost.
fine. You can say whatever.
That is not a
You
sport.
say wrestling's not a sport?
No.
When the Ultimate Warrior
Come
beat
on,
Hulk Hogan,
wrestling. It's not a. They do athletic things. That's it's.
I can do
count that.
cartwheels. You call me
Yes.
a sport?
Yes,
If you're doing it as a living, yes, I will call that a sport.
All I'm saying is I was there when
WrestleMania 6, so it was in Toronto.
that was an Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan. And Hogan had the belt for 4
okay,
years.
okay.
It was the greatest moment in sports entertainment history, the greatest Toronto sports moment until 1992.
Anyone listening to this podcast, please comment if you were alive when that moment happened. Because
How great that moment was.
I feel like he's showing his age, and not a lot of people are
Just
going
a
to know
little
about.
bit. Just a little
People are like,
bit.
Ultimate who? Hulk what? Toronto.
Hulk Hogan, everyone knows, but I don't know if everyone knows Ultimate.
No,
Warrior.
everyone knows Ultimate Warrior.
You sure about
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
He had a good run,
Everyone
man.
knows
He had a
Ultimate
good
Warrior.
run.
What you know
He's
for?
a strictly like '80s type of wrestler because if they came with Ultimate Warrior today, you'd get laughed off. But everyone knows Ultimate Warriors.
Sure, the young kids now even know who Hulk Hogan is. But
Oh,
they
yeah, for
know
sure,
who
for sure.
Ultimate Warrior.
I think they do. I think they do.
Yeah,
Wrestling
two-
fans, at least.
2 belts.
I'm just talking about the general public.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. He's not as popular as Hulk Hogan. And not as popular as, the top wrestlers. All I'm saying is he beat Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 6 and I was there.
That's a good one.
I guess so.
No, you don't have to say an event, Casey. What was your earliest sports moment then? If you can't think of an event, that's great. But sorry, I didn't clarify that in the question.
Yeah, you didn't.
No.
I would have done my homework a little better.
Yeah.
I mean,
So just go back in your memory.
What do you have right now?
What do you have?
Mister, I've done my homework.
Yeah, I was just gonna say my earliest sports moment that I remember clearly was Joe Carter hitting the home run. But
That's your earliest?
Because you were like 15.
it was 13-1. And, the way I took the question, or the way you proposed it was what was also the greatest for me. Right? Like, I remember that clearly. Like, I remember sitting
no
in my
great-
living room with my parents and everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right?
Yeah,
That's your
With
earliest
the
sports
big
moment.
wooden TV.
Yeah.
Right? So,
You know what? But before 13, were you really into sports before you were 13 years old? And the answer's
I
probably
played
no.
everything, but I don't think I watched
Exactly.
anything religiously.
He didn't really. No, I actually remember this. You didn't watch till a little later.
So then, that's your first real
Yeah,
sports
yeah.
you remember.
Like, I
That
remember
makes
watching
sense.
the Jays when they were going
they're
to the
trash.
championship series against Oakland and losing and all that stuff. Like, I remember that. And me saying that just says a lot. It tells you I did watch it back in the day. I don't watch baseball now.
I don't think anyone watches baseball
Right?
nowadays.
Do you have a moment that you went to? Do you remember your first sporting event you went to?
I
I
remember
remember
that.
going to the Jays. I don't remember who they played
Yeah,
or
who they
anything
played,
like
yeah.
that.
I remember-
But that's all I mean. Like that's
I
what I
remember
mean.
my mom was really into the Jays.
Yeah.
They were great when I think it was from 88 to 93. Obviously, they were
Digging in the crates there.
they
boy.
were a really good team, right? And making it to the championship series and falling short until the great 2 years in a row.
I have another one. It's fine.
Well, Mark.
Yeah.
I think
it's only supposed to be one, but
yeah.
we're not going around. We're not going around the horn here.
Overstepping the boundaries there. I let it go, but whatever. I don't know. The earliest moment, I guess, big in a sporting event was probably going to the Raptors game, like when they first.
You Skydome?
Yeah, Skydome.
Yeah.
I think it was they played Charlotte.
Nice.
I remember going there. My first was Washington in the Skydome. But anyway, what
Yeah,
do you
it was
remember? What do you remember about it? Were you sitting up high? Were you down low?
I think lower bowl, whatever that is in the Skydome.
Yeah, it was like a lower bowl. And it just
yeah. Was that? I don't know. I can't. Well, yeah, Stoudemire was there. I don't know who was on Charlotte at the time. I think Alonzo Mourning was probably.
probably
some-
Alonzo Morning.
Grandmama.
Yeah, it was probably within the first, 1 to 3 years, like the Raptors
yeah, for
existed.
sure.
That way.
Seasons before the building.
How long were they there? Do you remember how long they were there?
3 years.
Because
Really?
ACC was built in '99 or 2000 or something like that.
So they played there for 5 or 6 years.
I don't think it was that long. It doesn't feel like
Yeah, actually, maybe nice.
Why not?
Yeah.
Didn't they go?
No, you know what?
Didn't they play Maple Leaf Gardens
that
once in a
makes
while?
sense because
No.
Vince Carter was our star at the first time in the ACC.
Yeah, Air Canada.
Damon Stoudemire wasn't, which
Yeah.
means it had to have been more than 3 years.
Yeah. I don't know, but.
But it came around in '95,
Yeah.
and if
ACC opened in '99. You
so they
said
played
Yeah.
4 years then.
4 years there.
close. But either which way,
99. It was built in 99.
I agree with you, Mark. I went to a game in Skydome too. Don't know who they played.
You went. I think I went to like 2.
I think I still own the ticket.
Really?
Yeah,
Actually,
Get the hell out of here.
That's good. You know
Like,
what?
I don't go to a lot of sporting events. I hate the excess noise. I hate the person that's behind me complaining.
Shoot the ball! Shoot it!
Like, I hate that person that's gonna trash talk the person. I'm like, we're about like 30 rows up. He can't hear you, but you're yelling in my ear saying that he sucks. He can't hear you. The person at courtside, he can hear.
Maybe, yeah.
So I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I like watching it from. I guess I get a better view watching it on TV, so I can see all the angles. I can see how the play unravels. But it's like, if I'm in an awkward position or awkward seat, like in a stadium, I don't get to see that. I don't get to see how the game unfolds. Right?
Yeah. I hear you, especially the people who talk really loud. I find baseball the worst for that.
Oh,
Really?
man.
And when I say the worst, I don't mean in a negative way.
I find
just
basketball's
mean
worse.
They find. I think heckling is like a thing in baseball.
I hate
man.
heckling.
It's you got it. There's always that heckler, right? That's part.
Actually,
of the game.
man, yeah, maybe you're right.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's once again, I'm not saying it as a negative thing. It's just as someone who is not a heckler, like Mark, it's I find it annoying.
It's a
Yeah. You know who does that? Benny.
Of course, Ben.
I've been to a couple of games with Benny, and Benny's a
Shout outs
heckler.
to
We sit in the outfield, and that center fielder
center
can hear what you're saying.
Because a quiet sport, not like
Yeah.
anything going on. If you're
Actually, I was at a Jays game the other day, and I started a Gold Glove Grichuk chant in the back there in center field, and it was great. I wasn't heckling, obviously. I was saying how great he was. He had a good game out there.
first and
We're
foremost,
talking about heckling, man.
I'm saying that's what I did. I
let's
was
backtrack
positive.
here, Smythe. Were you supposed to be at work that time, or what's going on?
It was in the evening.
I feel like it was a day game, and you kind of skipped out on work.
It was a Friday nighter, but yeah. Anyway,
My earliest like moment I remember was Montreal Canadiens, 1986. That's how I became a Montreal Canadiens
Toronto
fan.
or Montreal?
Montreal Canadiens. That's how I became a Montreal Canadiens
No, I
fan.
mean in Toronto.
Yeah, I was in Toronto. I didn't actually go, like, just actually watch it on TV. That's how I became a Montreal Canadiens fan, because that was, like, the first team I actually watched, and I just fell in love with it, blah, blah, blah. But the actual going to an event, probably the Blue Jays in Exhibition Stadium. My dad was an avid baseball. He just loved going to baseball, so we went to a lot of games. Every year we went to a lot of games. I remember packing up all, like, picnic stuff and whatever, and just going there with all that stuff. But I remember Exhibition clear as day, standing up at the top row, that aluminum sound and all that kind of stuff.
Actually, yeah,
So
I can think
that
about
was-
it now.
Yeah, exhibition. I remember going there to that cement they were running on with green paint they called turf.
I remember the baby blue uniforms. I can't remember who they played or what was going on, but I do remember just being there. And yeah, to me it wasn't. I guess as a kid I didn't really think much of it. But
why did you care? You're hanging out.
Do you guys remember when the Skydome first opened?
Yes.
I remember that.
I don't
it
think
was a spectacle. No, it was people from
was
all over the
incredible.
world came to see this.
Funny
building.
enough, I don't remember
That
it.
That was an
opened up.
architectural,
Yeah.
like that's,
Wonder. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
absolutely.
It was, I remember it
5
being
minutes to
amazing.
open and close.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And back then, that was like it opened and closed. Like
Does it take 20 minutes?
20
Something
minutes.
like that.
Say 20
And then
minutes.
Safeco Field opened up, and it had like it was like an 8-minute open and close. I'm like, come on.
Now they don't do that anymore.
But it's like,
they don't do that
it's
stuff.
just- yeah, it's opened or it's closed when you get there and they're done.
that's
I was at the Raptors game when the Raptors beat the 72-10 Bulls.
Nice.
My aunt Gail, shout out to Auntie Gail, took me to a Raptors game and they beat MJ and it was amazing.
Almost hit that last second shot. Though. I remember watching that on
Almost.
TV.
That was awesome.
There's a couple good moments. Actually, Nash actually brought up a good one. A good moment of baseball, because I remember when I was in high school, I actually went to a school trip to Washington. I actually went to Camden Yards,
Oh, really?
and it was like this is just after Toronto had lost Alomar, because I remember went there and actually seen, and that was that was the year after when they had the All-Star game there, and
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
King
yeah,
Griffey
yeah.
hit the wall, hit the building.
Yeah.
So I actually seen the plaque of where King Griffey hit it.
That's awesome.
That's probably like my best sports moment, because I was like one to be in a stadium I never thought I'd be
Yeah.
at.
That
to
was
see.
your best sports moment? Does anyone have a best sports moment? Like something they went to?
I saw the Houston Rockets a couple of years ago, and I saw James Harden drop 40 points on poor Norman Powell. And the Raps won that game. That was my best. I've never seen a person like up front perform. And I saw MJ score 30, and I saw Scottie Pippen score 30, but I've never seen someone like Harden come and they had a game plan to stop him, and he destroyed them.
I think me and you share one.
Yep.
KC.
I was thinking the same thing.
Was it 2 years ago?
it was longer than that.
Yeah. Me, you, Benny, playoffs, game 1. I think
This is like the second year the Raps were in the playoffs. So it's third year.
It might have been the first.
Was it against Brooklyn?
Yeah, it might have been the first.
It may have been. It was that stadium, that arena. Sorry, Nash won.
Yeah, no, that was saying that arena was just shaking. Like, that was... I was talking to Benny about this the other day, and I was like, the amount of money we spent for the tickets, I think we spent something like around $350. And we're like trying to extrapolate down. No, what that same ticket would be today.
Oh.
We're probably thinking like $600 for that same ticket.
You know what?
My ears were ringing.
Yeah.
The next
We loved
day.
it.
Like, we
Loved
went to the club, but my voice was hoarse, like...
Was that your first playoff game? Because I went to a bunch when they played Orlando.
I went to a couple others.
Okay.
With other people, obviously.
Yeah.
My real friends.
But I think that was my first one, was with you and Benny, right? Like, that was crazy. That was just singing "O Canada" like at the top of our lungs.
Yeah.
To do that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
It was
fun.
crazy. The atmosphere was just incredible.
Smythe's been to a playoff game, but you went to in Cleveland.
Yeah, I went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
I went and saw when the Raps were in the conference finals. And
Did we get bullied?
the game was okay. The fans
same, though.
were
It's not the
horrible
same.
people. Cleveland fans are terrible people.
What they do?
They were like, in your face, LeBron James. I'm like, you guys have LeBron James. Why are you happy?
Cleveland. If you ever go to Cleveland and watch a sports game, their sports are everything to them. It's literally everything to them.
It's because it's in Cleveland.
Yeah,
Have you been to Ohio besides for a sporting event? Because I have.
Yeah.
All right, so you understand why they hold on to sports.
I haven't. The only time I've gone there
Take
is
a
for
trip. Take a trip.
Browns
Let's go.
game and a Cavs game.
Take a trip.
I've driven to it plenty of times.
And you're just
on the way to a better state.
Yeah.
But
Like, to be like, the game itself was fine. Like, the heckling, like, they were like, because it was me and 3 other guys, and we had our Leafs gear, and we went to see our Raptors, and they were like screaming at us, and I'm like,
You're lucky you didn't get in a fight.
you know what? If we were like, because I was like, guys, we're not the better team here. Like, we're supposed to lose. We're just happy we're here. You know, like, you have LeBron.
Just stay humble about it.
Yeah, you have LeBron. Like, I don't. Well, if I said anything else, 20 guys probably would have popped on top of me. Like, we love LeBron.
well, I don't know. Raptors fans are everywhere. You never hear any stories. So, I mean, like, I think.
Yeah, because they know better, probably.
No, like, I mean, you see the Raptors fans always in the stands on TV and stuff, and I've
I
never
hate those
heard of
fans.
any incident.
No, I never heard of any.
No, you don't hear anything. And you know what?
I think heckling is fine. Like, I mean, if I'm at a game and I see a dude wearing a Golden State jersey, I don't know if I'd heckle him, but I'd give him some side eye.
There's one guy. I remember I went to a Heat game, and there's one guy. And every time the Heat did something, score a basket, or anything, he just stood up and was like, yeah, and started clapping. I was like, come on, man. You're in the Raptors arena. Like, that is that necessary? Yeah,
He's supporting his team. That's what we expect our fans to do when they're in other arenas. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I don't know. I'm a whole different breed.
I think I'm with you, Mark. I like going to like special events. I don't like really going to the arena anymore.
Because that's the kind of thing, like, can you imagine that in tennis? Could you really imagine someone getting up and like, yeah, like,
But tennis is different, though.
Yeah,
Like, those
tennis
are
is different.
individual
It's a different
sports.
culture.
It's not about the city. Like, people take pride in it. It's like their city's on the line, right? And I know I'm the same way with the Raps, right? And people are the same way with the Leafs.
yeah, but when you have like, when you have that person, like that favorite that's from that state or that country, playing in a Grand Slam in that country, it's like.
Tennis also has a different set of rules. I think it's a bit more like golf, where you kind of have to have a certain sense of decorum.
No, golf has more than tennis, man. You've seen tennis players go off, man. The more elaborate ones, Serena, John McEnroe, like this, Andre Agassi. Those guys are vocal. They're good in their regards at their times, but they're vocal, like they're giving the ref an earful.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he'd be getting fined. I'd be like, you're done. I'd be
Is
kicking you
there
out.
technical fouls in tennis?
Yes. Serena got docked a point
Yeah, you get
for misbehaving.
But
that happened. That was a controversy.
Yeah, but
because they're always saying like men will do worse and get less.
Yeah, no lie on that. I've seen men do a lot worse.
Yeah. So that was always her thing. You guys got any recommends words?
I gotta recommend.
Smythe, go.
The Beaches have a new EP, 5 songs. I don't know if you guys heard any of them.
The band, The Beaches.
The band, The Beaches.
I definitely
All-girl
heard.
band from Toronto. They have a new EP. It's 5 songs. Highly recommend. They're just a bunch of girls doing rock, and they're very fun to listen to, and it's fun to see them develop into like professional artists, because their first music they were just happy to be making records, and now they got a little buzz going to them, and now they're really expressing themselves as like in their artistic forms as like rock stars, and it's awesome to see girls from Toronto doing that. So definitely check it out.
I'm gonna go with something a bit more corporate.
What of course.
Windows 11 just came out, and you're definitely recommend you download that.
They got a new upgrade. If you didn't know, I can tell you a few features that are going on.
See, I was about to thank you guys, but y'all screw you. I'll just say Dwayne. He recommended the buying the Instant Pot, right? And I bought it.
Mark
Hold on.
recommended that.
I'm the one that has
I know you did.
Recognition!
And I have you written down here.
Oh, okay. I see what you said. You see what you just did?
it. I'm gonna take that as a sign of disrespect for the rest of the show.
After what you just did? Anyway.
It's true though.
Mark did recommend it. I love this thing. I love this thing.
I'm thinking about getting it.
I use it almost every day.
Yeah.
It's so fast. It's so easy. And there's so many recipes you could find online.
Because you can also slow cook with it, right, too?
Yeah.
Do
So,
everything
yeah,
with it.
probably.
Slow cook, pressure cook,
Yeah, probably.
saute.
So that is my recommend. Thank you, Mark. Even though you give me some shade there.
What was the last thing you recommend? Didn't he come on here and recommend something about food preparation last time, too?
Who?
Casey.
No,
I think
last time I recommended the
Google Home. Sorry.
Yeah, I recommended
Yeah.
Warren the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been keeping it corporate. Right. Next time I'm on here, maybe I'll do something a bit more indie, like Smythe here. Because I feel like I'm plugging companies. I ain't getting nothing for it.
I was about to comment on that. I'm like, you ain't getting. They're not sending you a free one. That's for sure.
You got a warrant?
But that Instant Pot is hot. Oh, I gotta do the warrant right away too. Okay.
I mean, it's your turn.
What did you warn?
So I heard on the radio the other
Oh.
day. So I have a subscription to like Spotify, Amazon Prime, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually when your credit card like expires, you gotta reapply or put in a new credit card information for those services.
Not necessarily.
Not anymore.
Exactly. So what I've been finding out is that banks or credit card companies will actually provide your new credit card number to Spotify. and
Not
Amazon.
not all companies.
Not all.
Not all. But the fact that they could do that, to me, that's concerning. I don't think they should be allowed to
They should.
provide that information.
But they do provide. They do say it on your website or whatever company you're at. They say they provide it to I think major companies to avoid any interruptions. So if I'm paying my bill through say Rogers, my Rogers home or my cell phone through Rogers, and my credit card changes, they'll do it so I don't have that disruption.
You know what?
get it,
You know
but
what?
I should be asked first, and I should be able to opt in or out.
You know what? I guarantee they had more complaints about interrupted service than what you're complaining about. That's why they probably
I
did
don't
it.
know. I disagree. I think people.
Want the convenience.
No, I think people subscribe to so many things that sometimes they don't realize they're paying $4.99 for something for the past 12 months.
Yeah.
I know I was paying a Turbo TransUnion for like 6 months. I thought I only got a 1 month check, and I ended up subscribing.
What's TransUnion?
It's a credit score.
Credit check.
Oh, okay,
Credit
okay.
score thing, right? And I canceled it, right? But I mean, what if I never noticed it for whatever reason, right? And my credit card expired, and they just called up my bank, and my bank gave my information, and I'm paying again. A lot of people pay for these things, and it's not a lot of money, so they don't really notice it, right? So I don't think it's right. I understand where you're coming from.
Most of these major companies will, if you probably call them up and say, "Hey, I didn't want this," they'll probably give you your money back. Most of the major companies,
Or they'll
will say.
cancel it for you. I'm on board with Casey on this because
Really?
yes,
The
because
one who loves
I do
Instagram ads?
I love subscription model stuff.
So do I.
But that's how these companies survive subscription models. So what they're saying is we want to be able to keep charging these people. So even if their credit card expires, because what a lot of people do is if your credit card's going to expire, what happens is you get emails for everything that you subscribe to because they're saying, hey, your card's expiring. You renew the ones you want to renew, and you cancel what you want to cancel, but at least you'll know everything you're subscribing to. I think companies know that people do this, and that's what they use to get out of subscriptions. Like, oh man, I'm paying for whatever, cancel. I don't need that anymore. Just not give my new number.
I think
the bank does not have the right to give
or shouldn't
my
have the right.
rights.
Well, they probably do have the right. That's why they're doing it. They probably shouldn't have. They should have the right.
They 100% have the right. You've consented it somewhere along all the things you
But they
consented.
shouldn't have the right to give that information.
They shouldn't do
to
it.
anyone without my consent.
But the who wins though, right? The banks win because it's more interest. They get to charge you.
Everyone wins, but
That's
me.
right. But the person
Well,
with the card,
depending on
how you feel.
how you feel about it. Because I'm guaranteed there's tons of people out there is like, yeah, I win because I don't have to re-up everything that I'm subscribed to.
But I'm sure if you right now looked at all the things you subscribe to, there'd be something that you'd opt out on immediately. If you do all the things you subscribe to.
I usually keep track of everything.
You're good at that.
Like, I'm pretty good at it too.
Because I put reminders in my calendar. If something's like 3 months for free, I'll put a notification in my calendar.
Well, usually I cancel it right away.
Yeah.
That's what I learned you do.
Most of the time
they
they
get
just-
it for 3 months. You still get it for the 3 months.
Because I signed up for Spotify because I switched over because I just want to test it out. And right now I got 3 months for 99 cents. I put that in my calendar because if I don't cancel it, it's going to continue.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least that's your save. That's the credit
Yeah.
card you put in. Imagine you forget about that. Let's say you were with Apple before. I don't know who you were with.
Yeah.
And you think that, I have a new credit card. I don't need to worry about it. Then you check your statement.
Yeah,
and
They've upgraded you.
You've been paying. You paid $50 over the last 5 months. It's not a huge amount of money, but that's not the point. Right? But anyway,
No.
that's my one.
Watch out for your credit card.
So
Watch
while I
your
will
credit
promote
card.
corporate companies,
Yeah, I'm against it.
You got one, Mark?
I can recommend. I think I'm going to dip into the fitness side.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to save it for Gym Corner? No, go on. Sorry. I shouldn't
Oh,
interrupt
no,
you. I shouldn't interrupt you.
Yeah,
Go
that's
on,
a
go
whole
on.
different thing.
Yeah, I
Thank
shouldn't
you.
interrupt you.
I'm going to recommend. It's not necessarily anything equipment based, but more of I guess like exercise or more just like activity or if you're pressed for time is circuit training. A lot of people don't like to do it. A lot of people find it tedious, but I find if you're pressed for time, if you want to get a full body workout,
Are you talking about HIIT training?
not hit training,
Circuit training.
So circuit training, but but fundamental movements.
You
So
want
it's
to
like
describe what you mean?
so fundamental movements is like, say you're doing a squat, you're doing a lunge, push up, or dumbbell press, something basic. But like I do it with a lot of clients that are pressed for time or just want some sort of activity. Is I'll say I'll get 5 basic movements, light to moderate weight, and I'll say, okay, we're doing this for 10 minutes straight. You're going to do these 5 movements, 10 reps apiece, and just keep going. You can pause whenever you want, take a drink of water.
Do what you need to do.
Yeah, but we're going to go for 10 minutes. So I'll take 5 movements, do 10 minutes, have a 5-minute break, catch the breath. Then I'll do another 5 different exercises that are going to target another different body parts. And we'll do it again. And then before you know it, that's only 20 minutes, 25 minutes in total. And you have a full body workout. You're drenched in sweat. And you go about your day. You do that 3 times a week, you're going to be in shape. But it's not like a lot of people find that they're always, I guess, they feel burdened because they're like, I'm at work all day and I have to go to the gym for an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You don't have to.
yeah, like this same circuit stuff you can do at home. It takes 20 minutes. You could pop stuff in the Instant Pot and say, okay, I'm going to do. If it takes 10 minutes, if it takes 10 minutes in the Instant Pot, I'm going to do a quick circuit now,
Combo recommended.
and that's it. Like I say, even if I say I'll just do 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day, you put something in the
better than
oven.
nothing.
You do that. Well, that's cooking. You've got your workout in. Now you're going to work up appetite. You eat your food, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Nice old boom. You got a Warren?
A Warren.
You don't have to.
No, it's. I guess. Well, we talked about it previously before we started. Is if you're skinny or you're trying to gain weight, don't buy these 10-pound bags of weight gainers. You want to gain weight? Eat. If you look, it's harsh, but you look at most of America, in some parts of Canada, people that are obese, they're not eating weight gainers, they're eating food. So don't fall for these things. They do work, but it's like don't expect
do it.
Yeah, don't expect to pack on 10, 15 pounds of weight by just drinking some powdered drink.
Well, how healthy can they possibly be? Like,
They're not.
I
That's artificial.
question that.
Like, you can do it, but if you're doing it for your entire life, yeah, that's not healthy.
Is it equivalent to like eating McDonald's every day?
I know it's healthier.
Oh, okay.
It's healthier in a sense because it's not. Remember, it's a liquid.
It's not really good for your kidneys and stuff.
Well, you'll filter it out easier. Because remember, I'm not gonna have the trans fat. I'm not gonna have the saturated fats and stuff.
You don't have the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
food to break down.
Yeah, it's my body's gonna filter it out a lot faster. I might have to drink 2 or 3 of those a day
To gain any
to
weight.
gain the weight. Whereas like I'm buying 4 or 5 cheeseburgers a day.
Cheeseburgers taste better though.
Yep.
True enough. But yeah, that's my warrant. So it's like, don't always jump into the easy quick fix stuff of like.
Basically, what he just said is like, if you want to start exercising, you don't have to jump. You don't have to go hardcore to start. You can basically just
Yeah, don't go hardcore.
work,
and
you
don't,
can work your way up into it.
I won't lie, when you were talking, I was like, man, I should sign up with Mark and do some working out. But then as reality set back in, I was like, yeah.
I know. I let my Roomba clean my place.
Yo, my Roomba's awesome, man. Don't talk about my Roomba.
Laziest man here, people. Laziest man.
My house is clean, though.
Not by you, though. By the hands of
Not
electronics.
by you.
iRobot here.
All right, Nash, recommend the movie.
Crazy Rich Asians. Have you guys seen that?
No,
I've seen pieces of it.
my wife has.
Is that a CBC?
No.
It's a huge
Wow.
movie, man.
It's a huge movie.
Oh, I know. Isn't
This
it a
came out
TV
last year.
show?
There is
No.
it's not called
Crazy
that.
Rich
It's
Asians?
called something else.
No.
It's not called that.
You're talking about the Kim.
No,
Convenience.
there's another
Wow.
one. I swear there's another one.
There's one that's based off that, almost based off that. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway,
Okay.
Fresh off the boat.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's a good show.
They have a lot of good
Fresh
shows.
Off the Boat's a
Yeah.
good show.
CBC has a lot of good shows. I
No,
just.
Fresh Off the Boat's an American show, but.
Oh, is
Fresh Off
it?
the Boat's a good show.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Anyway, Crazy Rich Asians, romantic comedy, starring a lot of Asians. I don't think there
Hey,
was
the
one.
Last Samurai had Matt Damon in there.
I don't think there was one. there
Tom
was-
Cruise.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, no. Sorry. The whole movie was entirely Asians. It was entirely Asian. So it was about a woman. These two people they met. Then they went over to, I think it was Thailand, to meet the parents. But lo and behold, that the man was actually this huge land baron. Well, his family was rich and stuff like that. And he was like, I didn't want you to think about me in that way. But then her mother. Then the mother of the boy looked at her as a commoner and they didn't really want to get married and all that kind of stuff. And, hijinks ensues. A lot of good characters in this movie. I heard good things about it. It just took me so long to get to it. But when I actually did watch it, I enjoyed the entire thing. Which just goes to show this whole... When did this diversity thing started? Like 2-3 years ago?
Asians just
In
got
movies.
into it. Yeah,
In movies and stuff
Asians
like
just
that.
got in. They just got in.
Well, no, in North America because they've always
Yeah.
had movies and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like with Black Panther and stuff like that. It just goes to show that people of other ethnicities they have stories to tell too, and I enjoyed it. It was just amazing.
It's the same story.
I know, but it's told by a different
Yeah.
the whole time. I'm like a different perspective. I can't remember the city it was in. It was Thailand or something. Anyway, the whole time I'm like, man, I want to go to this city.
Yeah.
It looked amazing.
I do remember when they were doing the whole Oscar So White.
Yeah, that was around that time. Yeah,
A lot of Asian actors are saying, listen, we don't even get any movies.
nothing.
Yeah.
So I get it. Right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good Asian actors, right? So.
And when you watch this movie, it's
movies do
yeah.
well.
And if you watch this movie, there's a lot of Asian actors. Like you're probably go through is like, why doesn't that person have more roles? Why doesn't that person have more roles?
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah, we are.
So.
Yeah, really good movie. Really good movie. Highly recommend. You guys want to get into Game of Thrones? What your final thoughts was that? Since we didn't really get to it last week. Final episode aired last week. We don't really have to go into a complete breakdown, but just in general, what did you think of the season, Smythe? Just in a general sense, you can touch on things if you want to.
Generally, like, we all know it was rushed. We all know they had to get it done. We all know they had 6 episodes. And we all know the storytelling could have been done better if they had 10 episodes or 2 seasons to do it. And once you get over all of that, the way they close this out was pretty decent. That's how I felt at the end of the day. I was like, you know what? It's fair. Right? They had to do 2 massive battles. They had to go over probably the most telling episode in the whole series, which was the bells. Right? The last episode, I don't say it was rushed, but like what happened, the main thing that happened in it wasn't the most important part. If that makes sense to you guys.
Explain.
No.
Jon killing Daenerys wasn't the most important part of the episode. The most important part of the episode was how they sorted out what happens to the Iron Throne after it was burned down. That's what they were figuring out, right? But people couldn't get over that main part, which was him doing the deed, right?
I don't think that was people's beef with it, but go on.
Well, I feel like people that were actually fans of the show, like outside of being rushed, appreciated it, and like a lot of people couldn't get over like the one thing that happens, like Jon kills Daenerys. Well, that had to happen.
So if you're a fan of the show, you had to have liked it.
No, not that. I'm saying that people stuck to one point too hard. The fact that Jon kills her wasn't the main part of even that episode. Forget the entire season for everything else, but a lot of people just got stuck on that.
I agree. I think a lot of people. I'm going to go a bit further. I think a lot of people just couldn't get over the fact that she turned into the bad guy. And Mark alluded to this earlier. It was rushed in such a way where she went from wearing
all white to like all
wearing
black.
Yeah,
exactly right. And I noticed it watching it, and I was like, "Oh, that was kind of quick." Like she looked villainous.
yes.
Where she and I argued last time I was on the show that she's always had these tendencies, but it was like it was subtle before. Where now it became in this last season, now it became like overt, right? So I understand why people didn't like it. I understand why people will say they will never watch HBO again.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Those guys are in their feelings.
I have no idea.
I didn't cancel my subscription immediately after it was over, but
Yeah.
you know,
but I enjoyed it the same way Smythe did because I enjoyed the story, the overall story. And I understand that HBO told them you're only doing 6 episodes.
I don't know why either. I couldn't really find it.
You know what? I didn't get it.
I heard money. I heard that some people were just tired of the thing and they just wanted to get it done. Like I couldn't get a definitive answer.
but it's the same time as shooting 10 episodes because all of them were an hour. And
No, they were told to finish it. They were told to finish
I
it.
know, but I'm
in
saying the actual length of the episodes they could have done 8 or 9 episodes.
Only a couple episodes were that long, though, right? Like most of them were only like an hour. Like 4 out of 6.
Mark?
I don't know. I was just kind of. I don't know. The whole like Daenerys thing. It was like it just kind of happened for me. It's like me watching The Wire. It was like Omar from The Wire. He died it was just so random. It was like I'm like really this is how he dies. The person that's been on the show the longest dies so cheaply.
But wasn't that?
That was actually
Didn't
that was actually great. That was actually great.
That
was
because
great.
It showed how cheap life is.
Yes.
Like that's why, to me, that's how I took it. Right?
Well, the Omar from The Wire.
Yeah.
He got shot by a kid.
Yes,
He
exactly.
By
punked,
some random kid.
No, he punked the kid earlier in the series, and I'm like, 1, where'd he get the gun? 2, he got him in the.
Anyway, we're not talking about The Wire. We're not talking about The Wire.
I get it. It hurt you a lot. I get it.
What do you think about Game of Thrones?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's the greatest show of all time.
No, but it was for me. It was pretty much just I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I just want to find something else to watch now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to start watching Westworld. I heard that's pretty good.
Didn't you used to watch it before?
I watched the first season. I watched the second season.
I heard the second season not great.
Season 2, you're gonna be like, well, I don't understand what any event has happened here, but watch it. It's very good.
If you're gonna watch the show, I'd probably recommend. Hell on Wheels? No, what was that? It's that cowboy show.
I don't know.
What was that?
Deadwood?
Deadwood.
Yeah, I've seen that already.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait
Okay,
for
never
the
mind.
movie to come out.
Not a
Yeah,
cast.
But I found out they were making a movie. I was like,
Yeah. They're making a movie. Yeah.
Back to Game of Thrones, anybody?
I'll probably rewatch it like next summer or something like that. How it ended was fine. Like I expect. Like I'm not mad at Bran being king. I'm not mad at Jon going back to the wall. Dany dying.
It's kind of annoyed with that.
What? John going back to the wall?
More
But he didn't want to be king.
I know, but still, I want.
But, it made perfect sense why he couldn't be king.
I'm.
No, he didn't want to be king. That's why he went back to the wall. So it makes sense.
But I'm just saying, I want John.
Probably beef. Pretty much probably beef that episode is like I was sure glad the dragon was paying attention to the plot because he burned the iron chair down. I was like, oh, that's convenient.
I'm like, the only guy that understood the whole story was the dragon? The dragon got that the throne was the problem and to get rid of that? Oh, what? No one else saw that?
That was a bit cheesy.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
Come on, man.
Now, here's what I wanted to happen. Because I wanted the dragon to try to burn Jon. Because Jon's Targaryen, fire would not have hurt him. And that would
Not necessarily.
Not
But anyway.
necessarily,
Not
because fire
necessarily.
hurt the other one.
What of them?
The first brother.
No, he burned the crown though. The crown killed him. The crown melted in his face, murdered him. Not so much the fire.
Yeah, and again,
Daenerys.
and I'm not gonna harp on this. You all know my beef with the whole show is just the execution last season.
Yeah,
it was rushed. Should have been 2 to 3 seasons. But whatever.
I think one season would have been fine, but if they did 10 episodes,
it would have been
better.
What do you mean? Adding another one?
No. If they made the 6 episodes 10, I think it would have been a bit more.
No, I think I would. Me personally, I thought 2 to 3, maybe 3 seasons would have spaced out better.
You want the Battle of Winterfell to be a whole
I don't want to.
The whole Battle of Winterfell really only needed 1 episode, right?
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the development of the characters, the way they went. Especially like someone like Jamie, where he flipped from episode to episode in this season.
Yeah, I disagree with you with Jamie.
No, just like, okay, I'm gonna come over here and help these guys. Next episode.
But that's
I don't like this now.
That's who he's
Next
always been.
No, it happened gradually. Okay, we're not gonna argue about this. We said this. We're not gonna have
totally.
this.
The best part was Jamie explained it when he was leaving Brienne. He told you who he was.
Okay, we're not gonna argue about this. We talked about this already. We're not gonna argue about this. Anyway, anyway.
Game of Thrones is done. It's never coming back.
Yeah. As a whole, I think looking back, you're probably gonna think. Sorry, what did you say?
There's a prequel.
The prequel's coming, but it's way before. No characters will be.
Oh, I heard. Wait, are you sure it's a prequel?
Yeah,
I said
thousands of years before. So you're not gonna get any of these characters.
Okay.
You're gonna get the
I'm not watching
elf
it.
kids.
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Oh, that's a waste of time.
I'm not watching it.
See, he canceled his HBO subscription. He's one of them.
I probably did. I probably will.
I canceled.
I'm still watching. No, I saw my HBO.
Mine is straight gone. I have nothing to watch.
What do you have? What is that HBO you want to watch besides movies?
I have Crave, so I
okay. So well, there you go.
Yeah,
You don't even have HBO.
Yeah.
No, it comes with HBO. It comes with other stuff as well.
I can't remember my point. Yeah, sorry. Looking back, I think we're gonna probably look back as this being the worst season. It ended fine, but whatever. You see the Rotten Tomato scores of the season?
Yeah, but I mean, I expected that. I said it before the last episodes aired. It's going to be like Lost.
Yeah.
Where everyone loved Lost and people hated that final season.
It was kind of crap.
You cannot make everyone happy.
The only
That's
final
it.
season
I don't think it's making
was
happy,
ever
I think.
appreciated was Sopranos. No?
No, they hated the last episode.
Oh, I'm
of
sorry.
Sopranos.
Actually, in hindsight, people are people are like,
originally they hated the last.
Yeah.
episode.
It's not about making happy. It's the quality of the show. I keep saying, the show ended fine. It's fine through Game of Thrones. It's the execution in the whole.
And we all agree that it wasn't where it could have been if they had more time, money, whatever, or direction. Remember, the books weren't written yet. George R. Martin was like, here's what happens, and go make it. And they were like, okay, and they ran with it, and they tried.
Listen, to end off, because I don't want to.
Yeah, we don't
harp on this.
Fine,
I think it's just. I do think the overall, and I look at the overall story from season 1 through 6.
You said it
Right? That's how I want people to look at the show.
Yep. Good call. Let's get some real stuff now.
The horse is dead. Let's go on.
Sports?
What horse is dead?
Beat the dead horse.
Beat
Oh.
He's dead.
When did it end? When did this thing end? It was Saturday? Saturday, right?
The game?
Yeah. Saturday?
No.
Sunday.
No, it wasn't Sunday.
It was Saturday.
It was Saturday.
Yeah, it was
Saturday.
Saturday.
I remember I didn't have to wake up.
Where were you
early.
Saturday?
I was at home.
Oh, man. Just with all your good friends?
Oh, your real friends.
Oh, your friend, yeah.
I was with my girlfriend, yes.
My girlfriend and my cat. With all my real friends.
And I was watching the game. Actually, I was actually by myself for majority because she came late. And I was watching the game without any reactions. Funny enough, I wasn't yelling at the screen or anything.
You're not a yeller, though.
I can't be.
Oh, you can't
when
be?
I say yell, I don't mean like
You're
other
animated.
crazy people. I wasn't animated. Like I was
Okay.
just watching the game as it went on. I wasn't pumping fists or anything like that. I wasn't like, oh yeah, this is great. Like
You weren't screaming the refs are screwing us.
I wasn't. Right? I was just watching the game and enjoying it. But I cannot lie. When it ended, I didn't know what to do. Like I heard people yelling on the balcony, all the balconies of the building I live in, and cars honking.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and I was sitting there, and I was like, I'm watching Ernie Johnson give us the Eastern Conference Final trophy. And it was surreal to me. Like, as a guy who lives and breathes Raptors, right? Like, I love this team. And I didn't think we'd make it this far.
out of our core group of friends, I would definitely say you are between you and Betty, you're probably a diehard Raptors fan. But Betty's more of a baseball guy, so you're probably the diehard Raptors fan.
Like every year I think the Raptors will do it. Right? Even in the US,
you do say every year.
I will argue that the Raptors will do it, and it hurts to watch the teams.
Who's starting for the Raptors? Rafael Arujo, Andrea Bargnani.
I remember making arguments for why that pick made sense.
I'm scared to ask Mark, so I'm going to skip Mark for a second, but where were you, Smythe?
I was in Port Colborne. I was at my brother-in-law's house. Shout out to Patrick. And we were just sitting down. It was one of the little guy's birthdays, and all the kids were playing whatever. And we're just like sitting in the chair watching the game. And
how many people in the room?
Like 20. And we were like, guys, the game's on. We're going to watch the game. And we're just sitting there, and we're just like going through it, calling every play, getting upset when the Raps weren't doing well, being happy when they started coming back, like calling subs for Nick Nurse. You know, just typical like when you're watching games with people and really analyzing it. And the one thing that I really thought was like people that didn't love basketball, and my wife's family, they're basketball people. They like basketball. But I'm like, they weren't into it like this. And I said, the amount of people that got into this game with this playoff run.
Winning does that. Right?
It's going to change a lot. And the second thing I said was, if you look at our basketball team, and I'll get into this later, we're supposed to go to the finals. So at the end of the day, I wasn't really surprised, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. Once it was, like, I wasn't like, oh my God, we're getting a trophy. This is amazing. I was like, the best player in the series is on our team. We have a ton of stacked talent on this team. We went where we're supposed to go this year. And that's how I felt.
You didn't take in the... How long? 24 years?
Yeah, it took 24 years, but they built a great basketball team.
No one's questioning that.
Everyone
here will agree with that.
Right?
But then the Raptors have not been in this... Sorry. Toronto team has not been in this position since 1993.
I get it. They were 2 games away a couple years ago, and they were building a championship caliber team.
You mean winning the conference finals?
Going to the finals.
Going to the finals? Okay.
There has not been a Toronto team that has gone to the World Series, the Stanley Cup, playoffs, whatever.
TFC. But
we're talking about major sports here.
I know, but I'm saying
I respect the other sports, but it's not the same.
No, I was gonna say the Leafs have played for conference finals, but anyway.
No, won the conference.
Yeah, that's why I had to clarify.
I know, I totally understand that, but what I'm saying is we built the team to do exactly this. We're not overachieving. We weren't super good. We were the second best team in the NBA this year. We beat the best team, and that's great. Yeah, by record. Well, we're home with court advantage. I'm saying that we've built a team good enough to go to the finals, and we're going to the finals. So I wasn't like, oh my God, amazing that we did it. I was like, nostalgia, great we got here finally, but it's been 5 years of us being right on the cusp.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mark? I'm scared to ask Mark.
No.
Where were you watching? Where were you watching?
I was at home.
Okay.
I made it home after work, so I got home as it started. I sat there. I watched it, and I'm on board. I'm not a Raptors fan by any means.
Definitely not.
But I'm more technical. Like I've watched the post game on TNT, and I've heard people say that. I think it was Charles Barkley that said, you know what, Budenholzer has to change his strategy. And the fact that I watched those 4 games go by, and a coach that didn't adjust and change his strategy.
What did you think about the Raptors? What, like, as a whole, as a city? Like, do you have any feelings towards that?
It was like, well, it's what Smythe said. It's they've built a team to win, or they've built a team to compete and possibly get to that plateau. And the fact that, you have the best person, arguably one of the better people in the league right now on your team, and arguably the best person in the league of this era in the West that's not playing, you had to go there. You had to go to the finals now.
Yeah.
Because they're saying because when you lost last year and LeBron left, you're like, okay, well now this is our opportunity. We should be making it to the finals because LeBron's not there. But then if the Bucks had beat them, then there'd be questions raised like, how can we not get there when the best person in the league is not there anymore?
Yeah, but they did beat them.
But it's for me it is what it is. Like I said, like what Smythe said is like they built a team and they've kept on plugging away at it, and they prepared themselves to have the opportunity to get there, and they finally got it. So, you know,
I was at home, and do you guys realize that? Do you guys know that I'm sports superstitious?
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
Okay.
You're the weirdest guy. Like, I don't know if you guys don't know Nash. Like, just go on Twitter and ask him some questions. He's a very weird guy.
I'm very sports superstitious. Like, for example, if the Montreal Canadiens are in the they're in the playoffs, I will stand at the national anthem when it comes on TV. I stand and listen to it. It's just something I do.
what tomfoolery is this?
So for this entire series, when the Raptors won, I had to sound off. So every time the Bucks won, I had to sound off during the game. And the 2 times they lost, the Raptors lost, I was watching with you, and I was watching with you. So I had the sound on.
So this guy went home, didn't hang out with you guys.
So I went home just to watch without the sound
What
off.
disrespect. We could have been sitting down watching the game together. Because you're superstitious, you don't want to hang out with us, eh?
He's telling you why they won. That's all
Next
he's
season,
saying.
we're not even hanging out, period, eh?
And I enjoy watching the game with the sound off anyway, because I think you pick up on more things anyway in that sense. As you guys know, I've been liking Kawhi. He's been my favorite player in the NBA for the last 5 years, ever since he got that MVP in the.
Of course.
Huh?
Of course, Tom Brady's your favorite quarterback.
Tom Brady's not my favorite quarterback.
No, I'm just saying.
You're talking about Wells.
No. Yeah. Wells loves Tom Brady.
Wells loves Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's my quarterback.
Bill Belichick is your favorite coach.
No, I don't like that guy.
But anyway, I've always liked Kawhi. But yeah, just see it. It's and I live downtown, so I can hear ACC and Jurassic Park and stuff like that.
You hear from your place?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I hear.
Oh yeah.
So
man,
you
good
can
ear.
hear the cheering, the loud roars. It was just you get like I just stood on my balcony just listening for a little bit. You can feel electricity in the city. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then I went over to my mom's the next day, and she was asking me about, oh, did we win a championship yet? How many more times we have to win? Is Kawhi going to stay? Like, she was like, and it was the same feeling I got in 1992 and 93 when the Jays won, because my mom was in the same energy. It's just crazy how how when a team wins in the city, that
And that's why
everyone gets involved. There was something like 50,000 people outside on Jurassic Park.
It was 16,000, but I think it grew after they won.
Oh, of course.
Right? And just,
Jurassic Park, there's more people outside Jurassic Park than inside. And it's going to be like that for game 1 and 2 of the
16,000.
finals.
I heard the number was 50,000.
I heard 16,000.
Because it went
initially.
way...
But
Oh,
I'm
initially.
saying
Excuse me. Okay.
After they
Oh,
won,
okay.
It's probably got more.
So I'm like thinking like in the finals, can you imagine how big it's going to be?
Well, no,
16,000 people watching outside is...
Oh, it's crazy. No, 50,000 people is crazy. Like that. If it was 50,000, like I heard, that's the Sky Dome. That's filling up the Sky Dome.
We see
Full of
that
people
Instagram
outside.
video with the people who lived in, I guess, the condos right
Yeah.
above the Scotia.
Yeah.
And
Yo, the Scotia is not a thing.
that's what that's what they're calling it, right? So I'm jumping on.
You can't.
So you dropped that?
I saw your face. I saw your face, Mark, and I was like, I have to say something.
I listen to talk radio, and they keep on calling me the Scotia.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
stop listening to that guy. Stop listening to that person.
That's sports radio. It's talk radio.
that's not
Stop
even
listening to
slang.
that person.
That's not even slang in the
Anyway,
streets.
continue,
Okay,
sir.
the schwa. Anyway,
So you hear in other cities now they're setting up Jurassic Parks.
Yes.
So it's going to be in Brampton, Kitchener, Guelph, Mississauga.
Because I guarantee they're probably going to cut down the amount of people that are in the streets.
No, it's
For
just more
Jurassic
people in the
Park.
streets.
No, it's like it's more
Just
people in
want
the
a piece
streets.
of it.
No, but I'm saying is
So it's going to be like downtown Mississauga. You know, this is that in front of
but
town.
I'm saying
City Hall is
they're
gonna be
doing that so it don't have that mass confusion.
Well, there'll be people in Mississauga celebrating, people in Kitchener
I
celebrating.
see what you're saying. Like the party's gonna be centralized.
Instead of having to go downtown and create more masks, you're having that
you can have little
50,000 people. You're gonna say, okay, well,
right
you don't have to
now,
go.
You can buy a ticket to that game right now. It costs $580 American. I step up to get a ticket to go in the game. So guess who's going to be in the game?
What do you mean?
People that are going to be at that game are going to be Leafs people. People that aren't really emotionally, not the top fans.
I don't agree with that.
Because to get in the building right now for standing level seats at the back is $580 American.
I don't understand what Leafs part comes into it. No.
You're not getting the fans are not able to go to these games because they're going to be too expensive.
I disagree. I think
it's still going to be.
I think you forget how many people actually live in this region. Right? There are people. I would honestly, if you guys said let's go to a game, I would put up the money to go to a game. Right? I would. Right?
If I wasn't going on vacation, I probably would. I agree with you. If I wasn't going to vacation, I would.
Yeah, I usually say I won't go to the standing room.
Yeah.
But given that I don't think I could afford them,
that's where I'll go.
Right?
All I'm saying, it's $1,000 ticket to get not even a seat in Canadian dollars. What I'm saying is most people can't afford their fans. They're all going to be outside.
The resale ticket, so you got to be a bit more clear.
Yeah.
So
do you think anyone has season tickets to the Raptors game right now?
Tickets don't get you those.
They're all getting resale. You know what they were?
Get you those games.
At the beginning, there were tickets going.
I think you get first tips.
There were tickets priced at $100,000.
Yeah.
So the resale tickets are that much.
I don't understand. I honestly don't even know what you're talking about.
Ticket prices.
Raptors fans are going. Raptors fans are going.
Well, you know what? You don't know until tomorrow. All I'm saying is you're going to get in there, and I think it's not going to be as loud as it was in the conference finals. That's all I'm saying. All the fans will be outside in Jurassic Park, piling out in Toronto streets watching the game.
I think you underestimate
how much they'll spend.
How much people will spend to go see the team.
Why would Leaf fans go to a Raptors game?
No, I'm not saying Leaf fans. I'm saying people that have corporate tickets or
what you said.
I said those words. People that have a ton of money,
anyway, I don't know.
but are necessarily Raptors fans. Like your top people that love the Raptors and cheer and set decibel levels aren't going to be at the game.
We'll see. Looking back at the Bucks. So was it game? So did the Bucks win game 2? I can't remember now.
Yes, they won.
They won game 1 and 2 and lost the next one.
So it was pretty much game 2 where everyone pretty much went, this is over.
Because they blew the Raptors out of the water.
Yeah. And it was Lopez scored 25 in game...
26. 29.
30. 29. Game 1, yeah. And I think it was around game 2 where a lot of people were screaming Gasol couldn't even play in this series. And that's when a lot of people kind of jumped off. This is when I started noticing, like, people at ESPN... They just overlooked the Raptors. They're like, okay, let's look at the matchup. Let's look at the matchups between the Bucks and things.
Can you blame them though? The Raptors bench did not exist in games 1 or 2. They didn't exist.
I think you can argue the Bucks didn't either.
No.
I can't say they didn't exist.
Well, who showed up in the Bucks? Like it wasn't Middleton. Because Middleton didn't score.
Outscoring us like 38-8.
Brogdon came out.
Yeah,
Brogdon, Ilyasova, and Connaughton were outperforming.
They destroyed us.
Yeah.
The bench destroyed us.
Ilyasova and
just one, I think.
Ilyasova and Mirotic weren't.
Mirotic didn't do anything.
It was game 2, and both of them. Remember, at the end of the halftime, end of game 2. Brogdon, Ilyasova, and Mirotic combined for like 43 points.
Yeah,
I mean that's why people were off of us because they realized the starters. The minute the starters left the court,
it was over.
We could not score.
So it looked like to me. I don't know if you guys saw this. So they had a game plan where they're going to Lopez get open in game 1. So Lopez scored the 30 points, 29 points, excuse me. And what it looked like to me in game 2, they overcompensated. Then they started covering Lopez like crazy. And getting away from their kind of game plan where they shut Giannis down. And in game 3, that's when it flipped around because then they put Kawhi on Giannis and then they went back to shutting him down.
I think it's a combination of what you just said and the fact that the
certain people stepped up.
Bucks bench stopped playing well.
Disappeared. Well, their guards were never playing well in the whole series.
No,
Hill and Bledsoe was not playing
well. But
no, he was not.
Bledsoe played terribly.
Bledsoe played terribly.
Hill played better than Bledsoe.
Hill didn't play poorly.
I can't. He played poorly, but the thing is that
defensively he's good.
Well, Hill didn't play poorly.
No, Hill played fine. Bledsoe played horribly because he pulled away from what his strengths were, and a lot of commentators were saying that
strengths. He wasn't scoring.
But the thing is that a lot of commentators were saying that he's a better penetrator, But when he's open, he's taking the shots, and he's feeling that, okay, I'm a miss till I make and make till I miss. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times they're like, and you heard through Canadian commentary, they're fine. Like the Raptors are fine with giving him a shot. He's taking a shot. They're like, no. If he puts the ball on the ground, he creates movement on the defense. Mm-hmm. That 3-2 zone that they're doing is gonna fall apart. But the thing is
Raptors you're talking about, yeah.
But the thing is that because if the Bucks are swinging the ball and he's open, he's putting the shot, he's missing them, but then there's no one there for offensive rebounds at times, and then all it is turn the transition offense. Raps get a couple points, timeout before you know it, the Raps are up by 10 points.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Raptors barely won Game 3. Right? Double overtime.
Yeah.
Great game. But I think for whatever reason, and this is the same issues I had with Dwayne Casey, is Coach Bud just
did not step away from his game plan.
He basically said we won 60 games this year by Giannis penetrating, kicking, and us hitting the three. And that wasn't working. They didn't know what to do.
Let's start at the beginning. What else are they gonna do?
I don't know the answer to that.
I actually do know the answer to that. I know the answer to that. But
you saw it. You saw it in the last game especially. Giannis tried. He tried, but he had nowhere to go. And he was scared to dribble. He was scared to shoot. He was scared to touch the ball because they would foul him. He'd go to the free throw line
and he missed
1 for 2 at best. Sometimes it was 0 for 2.
Well, a lot of that is the Kawhi effect. Because if you notice, a lot of players, they are scared to dribble around Kawhi. Because Kawhi will snatch the ball from them. And that's what happened when Kawhi was on Giannis.
Can't take anything away from Kawhi.
Right? Yeah. Yes, Margaret.
Giannis played his game.
Did he?
Yes.
Did he?
And even he the MVP, and he is the MVP of the league, played his game that whole series. The problem Giannis had is he had an elite defender guarding him.
Not all the time.
But when it wasn't him, it was 2 guys or 3 guys. They weren't letting him score 30, so he scored 22, which isn't bad. The problem he had, really, I think he shot the ball too much. He didn't defer enough because the other guys couldn't make it happen. Chris Middleton
were missing shots, with the exception of Brogdon.
Chris Middleton didn't even have a good game.
Chris Middleton triple double.
But it wasn't.
He had a triple double.
Yeah, triple double that one game. But
he had one game where he had 10 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds, and 6 points. So he didn't shoot well. He's part of the problem.
And isn't he supposed to be their second scorer?
He's their second star. Yeah. He's not good enough, and that's not his fault. That's just who he is. Brogdon stepped up, not that great. George Hill, he gave you double digits that whole series, so we can't say he didn't play well.
I don't think he played that well.
Nikola Mirotic disappeared down the street. He didn't even play him in the last game.
No, he didn't.
The Bucks remind you?
The Raptors.
Yeah, that's watching them, that's exactly what I thought.
And it's not their fault. Like they had a plan that worked all season long. They went to it, and when the changes they tried to make weren't enough away from their actual
what changes
game
they did?
plan. They sat Mirotic for all of Game 6. He didn't touch the floor. He's a starter. So you know they were trying to plug in different players and make things happen, right? Ilyasova could get it going, but they actually focused on not letting him get going. They didn't let Brook Lopez shoot 11 threes outside, right? And it's a different series. They just, after that, what are they supposed to do? They're only as good as they are. We're a better team than them. We won the series.
Mark?
No, it's like some of what you say, Smythe, it makes some sense. Some doesn't. But it's like,
thanks, man.
I gotta give you something. But you said you let Lopez shoot. You didn't anticipate Brook Lopez having the game of his life, and then
that was an anomaly, and it obviously wasn't repeatable and didn't.
But the thing is that the game 2, you didn't give him the ball much.
Well, Gasol was guarding him a lot more in game 2.
But the thing is that you saw, and you even saw it in, I think it was the double overtime, even in game 6. Mm-hmm. He wasn't shooting a lot, but he was hurting you in other ways. He
tried. No, Lopez in game 6, he actually tried because he was the only one that was actually trying to create something.
And you even heard commentary saying how you can't bite on his pump fake. He's a slow guy, but you still bit on it. But the thing is that he was getting to the line. He was doing stuff inside and out.
Now you were telling me that you saw mistakes that Bud could have done. Like what were the game plan? What could have they have done in your opinion?
Like I seen it, and I seen it even before, I guess, like Chuck, before Chuck and like the TNT cast had said it. And they're saying like, if you know that the Raps are going to put up that 3-2 wall, and you know he's almost a legit 7-footer.
Giannis, you're talking.
Yeah, don't have him bring up the ball, because you see, and I've talked to other people recently.
Really,
about
you don't think he should have brought it up? See, I think he should have brought it up. I think he should have been running the point and put in taller guys.
Because the thing is, because
a few times, yeah.
But the thing is, you know what he's going to do. You know that if Giannis' game is head down trying to go to the basket, and you put up a wall, if he can't get over that wall or get around it, he's useless now. Mm-hmm. But if he plays off the ball, a 7-footer with that kind of speed and that height and that vertical,
he really pulls up in it.
But can you play as a wing and not be able to shoot the ball?
But he'll get the buckets, because anytime if you saw
he can't hit a mid-range shot.
But as long as he's moving, he'll get easy buckets. Because you saw him anytime
he has to be moving. His point is he has to be moving.
Because you saw at times when there was a transition off a steal, and Giannis didn't have the ball. Giannis's 2 or 3 sprint strides, he was damn near at the basket. Like you had to Hail Mary pass it ahead so he can get it to score. But he was deadly in the open court.
But that was the problem with the Bucks. They've been playing the same way all year. I don't think they knew what to do. I don't think there was enough time for them to figure out what to do.
You know what? To be honest, like if you look at that team and you have 5 seconds to create a shot, who are you giving the ball to create a good shot?
Anyone. All of them can shoot. Every single one of them can
create
shoot.
A shot. You didn't
create a shot? Usually it was supposed to be Bledsoe, but obviously he wasn't.
Right, and Bledsoe just went ice cold. And
maybe Brogdon.
You looked at Danny Green.
I thought they should have probably went bigger. Because their guards weren't doing anything, and you had Van Fleet and Lowry on at the same time. So why not you just go bigger? I didn't see them do that. Well, they did it a few times, but it was for a couple minutes. And put Giannis in the post a little bit more.
Even when they went big, Brook Lopez and Giannis are the biggest people they have. Like, I know you could say
Brogdon, Milton,
but they're
Ilyasova.
They're long. I'm talking about big. Like
they're bigger than Van Fleet and Lowry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but Van Fleet and Lowry were just.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. If you put those guys in the long guys, then those guys can't. And you had Van Fleet on the court, and the whole time I'm thinking to myself, switch, get Giannis on Van Fleet, and they didn't do it. I don't know. It's just lack of
zone, so that doesn't happen, right?
You could kind of switch and then, but anyway, lack of this creativity. I think they're a young team and they'll figure it out. Like you said, Giannis doesn't even have a jump shot, which I think he should develop maybe a 10-footer, 12-footer.
Well, that's what
the guy was practicing.
That's the series.
Videos of him practicing.
The series is he can't score from 10 feet away from the basket. Exactly. He's more likely to take a 3. Mind you, he was 33% from 3 on the series. He didn't shoot the 3 poorly. It's just how many times is he going to stand out there and jack it up?
Yeah.
Shot it more than Ben Simmons, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he's not even uncomfortable shooting it. Like, he could take it. It's just, if you give him 10 opportunities to take it, he's going to take it maybe 3 times.
Imagine he had that mid-range jumper where he hits the wall, steps back, and he hits that shot.
That's the series.
Like why?
He can't do anything.
Like why?
He's Kevin Durant is what he actually is, right?
No, Kevin Durant can shoot from anywhere on the court. That's the difference.
Yeah, well.
Giannis will get there. This was a lesson for him.
Yeah, 100%.
To up his game, and he will. Right? And the fact that you saw already videos of him practicing and stuff like that just shows you.
He'll get better. How old is he? 23?
24. He's 24 years
Man,
old.
he's going to get better.
Man. Kobe. I feel like Kobe will call him out on social media and challenge him again.
Right?
Probably.
But you look at Ben Simmons, same thing. People realize that this was his second season.
No, there's no excuse for that guy.
What?
None.
It's his second season.
I don't care what it is.
Okay, well.
Shoot the ball.
Again, last year you said the Bucks should have gave up on Giannis.
Hey, stand by my word.
Oh, but you were wrong.
Done.
Yeah, Ben Simmons.
But you have young players like that.
Yeah, 5 years ago, Kawhi wasn't even a scorer. And now look at him.
What do you mean? Kawhi was a scorer in college, yeah.
Not in the NBA.
The guy that averaged 22 points per game in the NBA championship's not a scorer. But
he wasn't a scorer 5 years ago. Remember, where did he go in the draft? That was the reason he went so low in the draft.
5 years ago, he was playing LeBron James in the finals.
Exactly. That's when he became a scorer.
He averaged 22 a game.
That's when he became a scorer.
That's all I'm saying.
Anyway.
That's another here or there. I'm a little on the fence on that.
Yeah, so we're done with the Bucks. Now, going forward starting tomorrow, they are in the finals. Do you want to do predictions first, or do you want to break it down?
Raps in 6.
Wow.
Really? Okay. Casey says Raps in 6.
You're as dumb as you look, Casey.
I 100% agree with him. But can I give you guys my story of the finals?
No, I don't want a story. I just want to know.
It's gonna be so good.
Smythe Raps in 6.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to come on here and say that they have no chance and the Golden State's going to beat them.
I'm going to tell you why Golden State could blow them out
Mark,
in this series as well.
I say Warriors in 5.
Warriors in 5. Huh. Warriors in 5. Wells also agrees with you. Wells says Warriors in 5.
Which he's wrong, so your picks.
He said Bucks in 4. So.
Yeah.
I know what Wells is doing, but anyway.
He's cursing.
No, he's being superstitious. I'm also going to say Raps in 6. I want to say 5, though.
So why did you say, oh, really? When I said...
Boy, you must think...
I thought you would have went longer. I thought you would have went 7.
Well, sure, there's only one more.
That's where... The way you
guys... But I really want to say 5. But anyway, since you were the only person here that picked the Warriors, why do you think so? Why do you think?
You have a team that's been to the finals 5 straight seasons. Relatively, most of the same core.
Okay, go on. Yeah, same core. Yeah, go on.
Same 5 straight finals.
Yep, same core. You're right.
Same core.
Relatively.
Relatively. Same coach. And they know the pressure that comes with it. They know they have to go on the road. The only adversity they really faced was being up 3-1 and just some mental lapse happened. LeBron James and Kyrie managed to battle back and win a championship on them, but they learned that mistake.
They got KD. They learned that mistake. Got KD.
That's exactly what happened. I don't know what I learned.
I had this conversation as well today, and people were like, "Well, yeah, they turned around and got KD," but I'm like, "You remember when they won the first time? They didn't have KD.
They beat a Cavaliers team without Kevin Love and without Kyrie.
Remember when Timothy Mozgov was LeBron's sidekick and they won 2 games?
No, it was Belladova. No, not Belladova.
Deldova.
Deldova? Yeah, okay, Deldova.
No, the big
man.
man.
The second best player on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
No. Timothy Mozgov had the series of his life.
He was
there.
there.
It was awesome. Mark knows.
Deldova. Anyway, go on.
But you had Andre Iguodala, you had Sean Livingston, you had David West was there still?
Yeah, Dave West was there.
Not arguing, but they didn't have Kyrie and they didn't have Kevin Love.
Okay.
And they still lost 2 games.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But
they won.
That series made me say LeBron James is the best player I've ever seen.
Hey, look at him now.
But then the following year they got the best regular season ever. They did lose after being up. Yeah, they did lose.
That's why I started rating LeBron James.
No, he's LeBron James great, but we're not. Yeah,
he won 2 games against the Golden State Warriors
with nobody.
When he should, when literally nobody.
Nobody.
Hey, he did.
But anyway, back to this series. Though.
But I don't know. I find as I had multiple discussions today with people about the series and what's going on. And they're like, the Raps got a better bench. And Golden State. That's what I'm hearing from people. I'm like,
that's fair.
I'm like, the Warriors bench has been.
But who's on Warriors bench?
Quentin Cook,
Jordan Bell.
Cook, really?
Yeah, Jordan Bell and Looney.
Jordan Bell.
But listen,
Looney's gonna start.
But the thing is that people, I mention these names and people are like, oh yeah, these guys are Powell and think are better. But I'm like, these guys have been consistent because every time in this playoffs that the Raptors had a piss poor game, the first thing analysts are gonna say is like, Kawhi needs help. These guys got to step up. I remember Game 6 at some point when I was watching it, and they were like Danny Green. At some point, they were like Danny Green's 4 for 21 in his last 2 games, and I'm like, how?
Well, my only counter to that, Mark, is the Warriors bench only had to step up for 1 series. They had KD this whole time, and they've only had to step up during the Blazers series. The bench of the Warriors.
Series? That 4-game sweep.
Yeah.
That was a lot of those games too. They were close games, but
yeah. But that's it.
But that's the only time their bench had to step up.
I think the Rockets series is a bit more tough for them.
But they had KD.
Yeah, but but things you looked at, and even going back with Golden State, you've seen Golden State, KD. I'm sorry, Steph went what?
Previously?
No, in a Blazers.
Oh yeah, I think he averaged 30 something like that.
The man had no points in 1 half and turned around and dropped 33. And he's a microwave, Clay's a microwave. If those guys get going, it's a problem. because those guys in transition will hit buckets where the Norman Powell that he's feeling spicy and he wants to pull up and take a three is going to miss it.
It's spicy.
Casey, why do you think 6?
Raptors are the best defensive team.
Left in the playoff.
They were the best defensive team.
Actually, they were the best. Yeah, they were the best.
The Final Four.
They were the best defensive team when it was 16.
Good point. Right?
So
the Raptors are long. They could defend. Obviously,
long at certain positions, not all over the place.
All but one.
When you compare it to Golden State,
when they play Van Fleet and Lowry at the same time.
The Raptors faced Orlando, which had length. Philadelphia, which obviously had length.
And that was like the toughest.
And now we're going up against Golden State, right? Who doesn't have length?
Not necessarily.
But they have decent length.
Not at
Compared
every
to those other
position.
teams.
Their backcourt's taller than ours.
Their backcourt is taller than ours.
I like how you said ours. Yeah,
I think the
not
Raptors
at the. I'm talking about the point position, the shooting guards.
the Raptors are a better defensive
guards.
team than Portland and Houston.
Thompson, Curry.
Yeah,
They're not long.
they're taller than Toronto's.
They're
taller than Green.
taller than Green and Lowry.
How tall is Green? Go on, you guys go on.
Green, yeah.
6'4".
I'll look it up.
6'5", 6'6".
Go on. Sorry, Casey, I cut you off.
And you spoke about Danny Green earlier. For all of Danny Green not hitting a shot to save his life,
He played horrible.
That can't last, can it? It can't last.
Well, it didn't last for Fred VanVleet, but he played good defense.
It happened one game.
VanVleet hit 3 games.
No, he's been shooting. I think he shot
VanVleet shot like 80% 3
for that
games in a
series.
row.
If you leave any man open, is an NBA.
Not 80%.
Nash has said
Dude, it was like 78% for over 3 games.
Nash has said it best. You make it to the NBA, you can have those kind of games.
You can.
3 in a row in the playoffs?
No,
give the man
VanVleet's
some-
Van
give the man
Fleet's
some
been a
credit.
sharpshooter. He's a good shooter.
Give the man some credit.
If I
Not
didn't-
this good. He's not this good.
If I don't
He's not
pay
this good.
attention,
No one is that good.
if I don't pay attention to someone all the time, I leave him open, and he gets hot. He gets hot. But now if someone's chasing him off the line, what's he gonna do?
we're not
Because last time I saw Van Vliet, I haven't seen that guy do a layup in a while.
Wasn't one game.
Remember, he's not the guy that's going to make or break this series. So the fact
No.
that we're even talking about him is a plus.
But the thing is that we have to talk about him because we know
Last series.
because we have to talk about him because we know Kawhi will score his points. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that Kawhi will not drop 30,
And
35, 40
this was
points.
my second point. Kawhi is the best player on the court. Love Steph Curry. I actually
It's
really
argu-
love
that is
watching
arguable.
Steph. I love
No.
watching Steph Curry.
That's
It's arguable.
arguable.
It's arguable. But
I'm talking
I agree
about
with you,
both
but it is
ends-
arguable.
When you consider both ends of the court,
Yeah. Well,
Steph Curry does defensive liability.
And he will be a defensive liability.
Right? Kawhi is the best player on the court. Period. Okay? So this is why I say the Raptors in 6. It's really simple. I know no one is giving them any credit, and you know what? I understand that. Warriors.
When you
have
say no
won-
one, who's not giving them credit?
no one in the
media.
right?
You
American
mean
media.
you North American?
American
Okay,
media,
great.
right? But I understand it. They've been to the finals 5 years in a row. I get it, right? Like Mark said, they have the experience, right? But let's look at facts, right? They lost to Cleveland. They beat Cleveland, hobbled Cleveland their first year. Lost when Cleveland had a full roster. Went and got KD, and that was the only way they were able to win the next 3.
And this
the
has
team
been-
was
and it-
ridiculously stacked.
And this has been Steph Curry's best playoff performance.
Yep.
He's
Fine.
historically he's not really that great in the playoffs.
One guy,
Yeah.
right? So if KD comes back,
One guy.
in game 2, when I say one guy, I mean yes, he could drop 30 and stuff like that
In his sleep.
in his sleep.
And what about
But
Clay?
he's not guaranteed to do it.
So what about-
He's also had a lot of games. Same with Clay. There's a lot of games where those guys don't show up. Kawhi always shows up.
Klay Thompson is 6'7", and Danny Green is 6'6". So he has an inch on him. Continue. Sorry, I just had to.
But yeah, like I'm just saying, like we'll see how the defense plays. To me, this series is gonna be about defense. Will the Raptors be able to stop them from hitting a ridiculous amount of threes? If they can,
Then,
I think they win.
Smythe?
so the first thing we always forget about this series is the Raptors own Golden State during the season. And they own
Doesn't mean
no,
anything.
That's
listen,
2 games.
they own them during the season because it's an actual matchup problem that Golden State has.
But that's 2 games. You
I
play 2
get it.
games.
I totally
Kawhi
understand.
wasn't Kawhi not in one game.
Kawhi
and,
didn't
and
play
Kevin
a
Durant
game.
was another game.
No, Kawhi didn't play. Kevin Durant did play.
No,
they
but
lost
he wasn't
by 20 at home court, and Kevin Durant said this team is a matchup problem for us. Is that in their heads going into this series?
What else did he say?
I wouldn't say it's in their heads. I think they have enough experience.
I'm going to say, if you look at how the matchups work, Toronto Raptors don't let guys shoot open threes unless they're going to let you shoot open threes. You know Golden State's a 3-point team. Golden State has no 3-point presence.
What do you think about the size? Because I didn't bring that up.
Hold on, wait. What did you say? Golden State has no 3-point presence?
No.
What did you say? I
said Golden State doesn't have an inside presence.
Oh, inside presence. I said he said 3-point set. I was like, what?
I asked him about the size.
Oh, okay.
The Raptors do well at defending outside at the 3. What you're going to see in this series is Golden State's going to move the basketball around a lot. Now, the best transition team in the NBA, Toronto Raptors, in the playoffs. Okay? Golden State coughs up the basketball a lot. Who's the best at capitalizing on that? The Toronto Raptors.
They actually cause more turnovers. They have
Without
caused more
Kevin
turnovers.
Durant, head-to-head, the Raptors are actually the better team. Mm-hmm. Statistically, they should win this series. That being said, if they go down 2-0 Golden State, and I actually think they will in this series, Kevin Durant will come back. DeMarcus Cousins will come back.
What if he can't, though?
That's one thing. I think he'll come and try to hobble and try.
And that's the worst thing he's going to do.
If
he tries to hobble back and tries, that's going to be the worst thing he's going to do.
Durant and DeMarcus Cousins on this team might be too much because Marcus Gasol can do a lot of things. I don't think he can stop a DeMarcus Cousins.
Of course he can.
But here's my last step. No, come on.
Yes, he can.
Marcus Cousins hasn't played in
That's
a while.
my last step.
And he's going to come off the bench. He's not going to start.
Do the Warriors know how to play with the actual super team that they created now? Because they haven't for so long. That's the only problem in this series that's going to decide it. Because if this Golden State team right now takes on this Raptors team, the Raptors can beat them in 5. That's what I think.
Yep. I agree with that. I agree completely. It's just we don't know what the injury status is of the other 2 players.
You want to counter, Mark? You look like you want to counter.
I'm not even looking at you guys. You guys are throwing in factors. I'm not even ruling those 2 guys in this series.
Yeah.
Still said 5?
No, but see the thing.
That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not counting. I'm sorry.
See, because I've looked at Norman Powell and Van Vliet as 2 guys that can't be consistent. Because I've said it time and time again. Those guys leave this team. Those guys are no longer in this league.
They're on a team now.
Yeah, but if these guys were the league,
which I do agree with you.
These guys are no longer existent in this league. They don't have a job anymore.
But do you think the series is decided by how they play? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no. What he's saying is you can't count on those guys to be consistent, which I agree. You don't know what you're going to get out of those guys coming in. But you gotta look at the star power and the star power alone.
Right.
They might give you nothing, or they might give you something. You can't count on them to do it.
But are they going to give you more than Looney, Cook, and Thing are going to give you?
On the flip side of that, you can say the same thing about those guys too. I don't think Bell's going to do anything in this series.
Exactly.
Bell might not
Looney might. Looney
will. Because remember, you forget that Draymond doesn't score a lot, but he's a facilitator.
Probably the best.
So it's
in this series.
If because then Pascal has to come and guard him. As long as people move, and you see how Curry moves without the ball, Curry plays just like Reggie Miller does, just like Ray Allen, just like Rip Hamilton. He has multiple picks to get around. As long as he can create a half a step space between him and that defender, that ball, if Draymond's smart and Draymond gets the ball to him in his spot, he's letting it fly.
Are you sure Pascal's going to guard Green?
Who else is he going to guard?
So if you're saying that, then you're going to thinking that Kawhi's going to be on Iggy. Now the only beef with that is Iggy's going to be standing in the corner. Mm-hmm. So do you really want Kawhi just standing in the corner and not in a defensive mix?
He'll have to. He can't.
So that's why I think Kawhi might be guarding Green.
Think
not all the time, but he's going to be guarding him a lot.
Where's Pascal? Who's Pascal going to go?
On Iggy.
Think of a Draymond Green with an elite defender on him the whole time.
Sorry?
Because that's what the Raptors are going to do. Think of Draymond Green with an elite defender on him all the time.
He's not going to be on all the time. He's not. I do agree with Mark. He's not going to be on him all the time.
Not he. One of the 2. They're both elite defenders.
I don't think Pascal's an elite defender. He's good. He's okay.
Because he hasn't gotten the accreditation, so you're not going to say he is yet. But he's an elite defender compared to the rest of the league. I said they haven't said he's on the defensive team, so you don't think he's a defender. But he is a good defender. And I'm saying Draymond Green's not going to have an open, free reign to do whatever he wants. He's going to have an elite defender on him at all times. Once he's not going to be as good.
The Raptors starting 5 they're all great defenders. Now
they're not great. They're good.
Elite defender, maybe a.
I'm not saying Pascal's.
I would only put Kawhi on there. I will say that. I think Pascal is a great defender.
Yeah.
He played
Giannis,
a
right?
lot.
Yeah.
Right? Ibaka played Giannis a lot.
Yeah.
Gasol played we have defensive players.
The whole starting five can play defense.
Exactly.
That's
why I say defense is going to win us.
Marcus Gasol's all defensive. Serge Ibaka was all defense.
But he's still a good defender.
Kawhi Leonard all defense.
Now my only question will be Gasol. They will start him in this series to see what he's going to do
until Bogut comes off.
I think you're going to see more Ibaka than you're going to see Gasol in this series.
You have to,
because can Gasol guard Looney? Not the whole time, right?
But the one good thing about Nick Nurse over Dwayne Casey is he'll actually make the change.
He's been gearing up for this. The whole time when people were screaming, how come we haven't seen a starting lineup together? This is what he's been doing this whole time. The fact that he can play different guys at different positions and different spots. And I've said this, I don't know if you've noticed this, Mark. Every time out of a timeout, the Raptors change their defense.
Exactly.
They change it every time. They're always throwing something. They're throwing a different look at the.
So when people said, "Oh, I can't believe we hired Nick Nurse," this is why we hired Nick Nurse.
Yeah.
Right. This is why we fired Dwayne Casey. I'm not saying Nick.
We tried to hire Boldenhoser first. Just for the record.
Yeah, we did.
we didn't want this guy.
The Raptors tried. Yeah,
he was our second choice.
Fair enough.
In hindsight, it's probably for the best. Whatever.
Well, yay. When you go and beat the guy that was supposed to have your job.
Let me ask you this, Casey. How can the Warriors beat the Raptors?
Ignore.
Yeah, ignore.
So forget Kevin.
I've always gone into this thinking that those guys aren't going to be.
So this Warriors.
Yes, this Warriors team.
Like you said, ball movement, hitting the three, running around screens, making Lowry and whoever's defending Curry ridiculously tired.
That's the thing. Lowry or Green is going to have to be chasing Curry all over the court.
Yeah, I mean, Golden State's a good defensive team too. We shouldn't take anything away from them.
Except for maybe Curry's the only liability. Curry at a lot of times will be the worst defender on the court.
So I mean, to me that's the only way Golden State could win the series, and that's why I think they could win 2 games because, like Mark alluded to earlier, they could shoot they could turn it on to a point where they don't miss threes.
Yeah,
they'll hit 6-7 threes in a row, right? It's hard to beat a team when they're that hot, right? But they're not hot like that all the time, right? And we're not Portland.
They're not hot. They're not hot. Sorry to cut you off. They're not hot like that all the time, but they're more consistent at hitting it. Because
those 2.
Yes, but those 2.
3. I count Green in that.
I do not count Green in that.
No, not as far as hitting the shots, but he is creating. It's him creating stuff that's
talking about hitting.
It counts.
Mark's talking about consistency. Draymond Green will have games where he is lights out, and then we'll have games where he's not. He's always a good defender. He's always a good passer. I'm not talking about. We're talking about.
But the thing is, he may not drop 25 points, but like Dwayne said, his presence is still.
You can say the same about Gasol. You can say the same.
No,
right?
I can't.
I don't think as much as Green. I don't think as much. I think Green is that important. I understand what you're talking about, Mark. As far as Green is concerned.
And
you're talking about Draymond Green.
The Raptors' defense neutralizing Green is going to be the problem for Golden State in the series. The key to this series is Klay Thompson.
Yes.
And Klay Thompson's going to have a favorable matchup. Doesn't matter what happens. He's going to have either Green or Kyle Lowry guarding him at all times.
I think Kawhi.
That'd be great if Kawhi can guard him.
No, I don't think he'll be guarding him sometimes, not all the time. I think they'll
Lowry
put
and Godfrey will cover stuff.
Danny Green. Remember we saw Danny Green.
Yeah, they might put Danny Green on.
But those guys, remember, Danny Green and Klay Thompson and Curry, they move a lot off the ball. So if you can't keep up with them, they'll pick up.
But how do most teams guard Golden State that are successful against them?
Who's been successful against them? Who's been successful? The only one who was successful with them was the Spurs when Kawhi went down.
No, Houston's been successful.
No, they counter with the scoring. They don't stop Golden State.
Houston,
and the reason they don't stop Golden State is because they haven't beaten Golden State.
No, Houston hasn't beaten them, but they successfully know how to defend them because they've beaten them 2 times.
He said the Spurs.
I know he said the Spurs, but I'm saying Houston's successful. Houston switches everything. Switching everything is the right way to defend these guys. Guys don't get away in the pocket. They don't move out of the thing and get open shots. Now they have to make tough threes. And unfortunately, Golden State can do that, mainly because they had Kevin Durant.
Well, we will switch everything because all the 5 players, the 8
starters.
The 8 players who will play are all
fine.
good defenders.
At the 3-point line. Good. At the 3-point line.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair. That's fair.
And if you beat the Raptors to the basket, the length and the shot blocking we have at the hoop is unprecedented. No one else can get to shots like how we get to shots.
But what about? So do you think we'll be? Because I think we're going to go inside on them. I think we have a lot of size on Golden State.
Of course, we're going to say.
Right?
We don't got posting. Who's posting? Who's posting up for the Raptors?
Nobody posted. Nobody posted.
I never said this is post up. Siakam's bigger than most.
The only inside,
The biggest guy they have is bigger.
Ibaka. We're gonna go inside.
the inside scoring the main inside scoring that's gonna come is Kawhi hitting those 10-foot
the mid range, and maybe Ibaka with some putbacks.
I'm gonna tell you why we're gonna go inside.
Gasol's not gonna score like that. Inside.
Gasol's gonna. Who's bigger than Gasol on that team?
Yeah, but he's
Both the same size. But he's not. But hang on. When have you seen Gasol go inside?
He doesn't go inside.
He doesn't.
Because he hasn't had to.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
This is what I think. I could be absolutely wrong. Right?
I'm with Casey.
Right? I think the Raptors are going to go inside in game.
Not being that they are going to go inside, but Gasol's not he's not the one
Not
to do
Gasol.
that.
No.
It's not Gasol.
You're gonna
Memphis.
Siakam, Kawhi. And the reason why is because they couldn't do it last series. They couldn't go inside.
Siakam will be freed up now because I believe what happened in the last series was the fact that he had to guard Giannis a lot. So that took a lot out of him. Yeah. Now he might be freed up. It's probably. What do you think? Green's going to be on Pascal?
Or is it like I said?
Or
Iggy. But remember, Iggy can shoot and Iggy can drive.
Yeah,
but Iggy can't score a lot of points.
Is this the same Iggy? Like
the same Iggy that was MVP?
Yeah, but
how
he can't
long ago was
score
that,
a lot
dude?
of points.
2 years ago?
5 years
No, 3 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years ago, he got MVP.
Was this? No, they won their first title.
Yeah, the first title. 4 years ago.
So that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Man. That was,
he's still a good defender.
And he's trash
that
then?
was 5 years ago, man.
No.
I'm not saying he's trash.
Well, if you count this
He
year.
won the first title, the first Golden State title. He won MVP.
Yeah,
So that was 5 years
Finals
ago.
MVP.
He's still one of their better defenders.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about offense.
yeah,
Right?
what I'm saying is
Offense and defense. He's not the same
he's
guy.
not going to give you a 20-point game.
Yeah.
No point.
No, he's not. I don't think we said that.
He's also not shutting down anyone. He'll slow people down. He's good. He's a good defender.
He's one of their best.
He'll spend a lot of time on Kawhi Leonard.
Him and Klay Thompson are the better defenders on that
Klay
team.
Thompson, I'll give it to you. But that doesn't say much about Golden State's defense. Golden State's defense has fallen off a lot since they were the Golden State of old.
Okay, well,
You have your phone out. Look at
I don't
the
agree.
stats.
I'm looking.
I'm going to say,
What's Golden State's defensive net rating?
whoa, why are you getting advanced stats for? You don't do
Because that's
advanced.
you got. Go on, talk.
Advanced stats on the show.
Talk.
I think that Golden State's defense, they have good individual defenders, but they, as a team, are not good at stopping other teams from scoring. Them allowing under 100 points, that's not their thing. Their thing is if you have Klay Thompson, can he slow Kawhi down? Can a combination of him and Iguodala slow Kawhi down? I think the answer is no because of how Kawhi scores his points. Kawhi scores his points similar to Michael Jordan. Everyone hates that comparison, but when Kawhi Leonard is open, he shoots from the open spot. But he will move to an open spot and take a shot.
We know that Kawhi will score. I don't give two.
You actually say he's going to score.
I don't give a rat's piss. He's going to score his points. You know he's going to score his points. Everyone's been talking about Kawhi from the moment he got here and the playoffs happened. He's going to score his points. It's everyone else can they score their points.
Okay, but everyone else is scoring 10.
But the thing is that there's games that people don't score 10. I remember there was one game where no one. It was only Kawhi and I think Pascal were on double digits.
And how many times that happened?
But I think once maybe twice.
Okay, well
let's look.
They got to win 4, right?
Let's look at the last 4 games they played against a very, very good Bucks team.
The best team in the league.
The entire team played well, except for Danny Green. Right, but
Yeah.
at least he played defense well.
But remember, you're talking about a very good Bucks team that didn't adjust.
Well, I can't speak.
And you're going on like Steve Kerr is going to coach like Budenholzer.
Do you think Steve Kerr?
You have a valid point.
Timeout. Do you
I'll give
think
that.
Steve Kerr is going to adjust if what he's doing right now is not working?
Steve Kerr will adjust.
What's he going to adjust and do?
I'm not saying I don't know what.
Who's going to sit on Steve Kerr's team and who's going to play in their place?
He'll change matchups. He'll change defensive schemes. Steve Kerr will adjust.
Steve Kerr has the best team in the NBA. He hasn't had to adjust in 5
I
years.
disagree with that.
The one time he had to adjust, he lost.
I'm
That's
sorry?
all.
Steve Kerr.
What does Steve Kerr adjust? He has the talent. That's all he's got.
Yeah, I disagree with that. But anyway,
I think Steve
Name
Kerr's
the
a good
super
coach.
coaching move he's ever made. Besides getting Kevin Durant and getting DeMarcus Cousins.
do you want to know? Do you want to know the defense rating?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Raptors in
points,
the Raptors in the playoffs. 102.4.
Number 2.
No, it's not number 2. The Golden State Warriors. 110.
Bro, there's a 2 beside his name, bro. I think they're number 2, the Raptors.
So what's Golden State?
Golden State's better defensively. They have a better defensive
Raptors
rating.
have been.
No,
The Raptors are allowing 102.
110. I'm looking at it right there. It's 110, 102.
Yeah, but 110.
That's not in order. That's not in order. I changed it.
So the Golden
Defensive
State,
rating. Defensive rating.
So Golden State's giving up 110 points.
No, he didn't. No. Defensive rating. That's rating scale.
Not
This
points
is
for, points for, points against.
You didn't ask for point differential. You asked for defensive rating.
Point differential.
All right, I'll look that up too. Go
Give me a
on.
number that matters. That's what I said. Advanced stats. They're all weird. I don't know. I all I'm saying is that the Raptors match up very well, and Golden State's without two of their top players. It's very hard for me to
You've
say.
been without Boogie damn near most of the season. So ain't nothing.
Boogie's not the issue. It's Kevin Durant.
All I'm saying, it's
That's
very
right.
hard for me to say that the Golden State Warriors are still better than this Raptors team when this Raptors team's stacked.
What?
Marc Gasol's a great player. Serge Ibaka's been a great player for a long time. You have Kawhi Leonard. Kyle Lowry's been a great player. He's been an all-star the last 5
We
years.
need to change categories because this is getting all out of hand with Smythe and his reckless talk here.
Are you saying the Raptors aren't a great team? They're stacked.
They're a good team.
They're
not-
They're stacked.
You have to don't ever put great beside a team that's only been it's only their first time making it in 24 years. Don't put great.
This season,
I might as well call.
They have been great. You cannot take.
They've
that
been
away.
good. They haven't been great.
They're in the NBA Finals, dude.
Hey, the sun can shine on a dog's ass sometimes.
Yeah, you guys are just.
I
being
agree
ridiculous.
with that.
Casey,
They've had the hardest
I might
path
as well.
to the NBA Finals.
The next female R&B singer, I'm gonna call her a diva, Casey. I'm gonna throw that up because you're throwing out words and putting them on people.
But here's what I'm
Guys,
saying.
they won the second most games in the regular season.
Is Kawhi a good player or a great player?
He's great.
He's an elite player. He's better than great.
But but when he first came in the league, he wasn't a great player, Casey.
No, he was not.
No, but
His first year in the
this year he's a great player.
No, wait, okay, hang on, wait. Let me try and clarify this. What you guys are talking about is two different things completely. You're talking about how they've been playing this entire season. Casey, yes, they look like one of the best teams in the league. Mark will not put that great title on you unless you actually prove it. They haven't proven it yet because they haven't won a title. That's what Mark is talking about.
That's stupid.
like what?
That is stupid.
How?
Here's what I'm saying.
No,
to
I
you.
agree with him. I actually agree with him. I actually agree with him.
Here's my
I can't
point.
say someone's great if I haven't seen greatness from them yet.
Here's my point. My point is the Raptors have put together a team with Defensive Player of the Years,
I know, but
MVP categories, and multiple people that have been in the All-Star game multiple times. This is the second most stacked team in the NBA. The first most stacked team is the Golden State Warriors, who are without one of the players that makes them the most stacked team in the NBA. The Raptors should technically win the series because they're more stacked. The end.
Stacked with who?
Kyle Lowry, All-Star last 5 years. Marc Gasol, former Defensive Player of the Year, multiple-time All-Star. Serge Ibaka, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, multiple-time All-Star. Kawhi Leonard, we don't have to talk about him. That's 4. How many is Golden State playing? 3.
You're telling me about past acclimates that they've had.
4 if you count.
Past acclimates don't mean nothing in the
Look at
end.
this straight. You can bring up Andre Iguodala winning five
Thank you.
years ago.
I'm gonna go to
No,
watch
no,
it.
wait. No, what I'm talking about is Smythe was started listing the accomplishments that the Raptors have.
But that's exactly what
Iggy-
happened
no.
earlier.
No, Iggy has accomplishments. If you can't just say
So did the guys that Smythe said.
no, that
But
I threw it in. I'm not going with Mark. I'm just throwing in
I'm
Iggy.
not
He has
saying because he was the MVP that he's a great player. He plays good, and it proves it. Where Kyle Lowry statistically isn't that great. He's already in the playoffs, but he's not that great in the playoffs.
I'm saying the team
Historically.
as a whole.
Serge Ibaka is
You guys are talking about
barely. Serge
You're
Ibaka
talking
has
about two
barely got to the playoffs. He hasn't
So
seen
if the
that.
Raptors win this playoffs,
Then they'll throw the great title.
then you could call them great.
They've had a great season.
Yes. I agree with you.
Because like Golden State,
I know what you're talking about. and I agree with you.
Golden State had a great season. They went 73-9.
They're a great team. Historically, they are a great team. I know what he's talking about, and I agree with him. Anyway,
I'm talking about this.
Yeah, you're
just
talking about
this
this
year.
season. Yeah,
I'm not talking about history or anything.
But you can't put great. It's a
I know,
good
but
season.
you also have to understand that you're talking about something completely
Yeah.
different than what they're talking about.
We can say
They're talking about what the Raptors look like this season. They've
done something. They've done something great in 24 years.
Yeah. Yes. Just so we're all on the same
looking at
page.
this year.
Yeah, no, I know.
I see what you're saying. I disagree with the way you're looking at it, but I see what you're saying.
I have one more point to make on this. When the Chicago Bulls beat the Los Angeles Lakers in 1991, what did the Bulls have in terms of accomplishments?
Nothing.
What did the Lakers have? Everything. That's it.
Is that why you went to the washroom?
Yep.
I'm glad you went to the washroom and came back with that.
You know
number.
what? I do like it. I do like it. Sometimes
You win. You win. You're nothing until you actually do it, right? That's the way it goes.
I don't
right?
think he should be able. Charles Barkley's Phoenix team that went up against Michael Jordan was a great team. They didn't beat Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Utah Jazz with Karl Malone and John Stockton
They're a great team.
and Hornacek was a great team. Even if they didn't win, they were still a great team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that winning a championship is the only criteria for being a great team. And that's all I'll say on that.
You guys are stuck on words wordplay there. But I know you're talking about Mark. I completely get it. Anything else you guys want to talk about the series? Anything else we missed out? Matchups?
It's gonna be so much fun.
Starts tomorrow. Well, at the time you guys are listening to it, game one would have already happened. Oh yeah. So we're gonna get off this. We got top 5, but we're gonna let Casey do top 5.
This is new territory. I'm not sure how we feel about this.
We're gonna let Casey do the top 5.
Because I didn't understand the topic?
Yep. It's part of the reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you were here, we had a good
It was rough.
20-minute discussion of figuring out this top 5 here. It wasn't a great. It wasn't a pretty sight at all.
What do you call Casey? You're just the dumbest smart guy I know.
We really showed off some talent here today, people. If you were here.
So you got top 5 duties. Normally it rotates between me, Smythe, and Wells, but I thought we'd just try something new. So
I'm going to do my top 5 cereals, breakfast cereals.
now, are you going to go
as opposed to dinner
worst?
cereals?
Sticking out my middle finger just in case.
As opposed to dinner cereals, but let's go.
Are we gonna go? Are we gonna go?
Can I have cereal for dinner?
Are we gonna go worst to best or best to worst?
Well,
Whoever goes first to
Some people
worst.
do. Some people
I don't
like
want
it.
to hear the worst one anyways. I heard the best one.
I'm going to go worst to best. But, I mean, worst is still good.
So, kids out there, we're gonna learn a lot of. You're gonna learn a lot about Casey J. Ford right now. That a lot of us in this room know. Continue. Go on.
Hold on. What are the top 5 cereals? Cornflakes.
They spit hot fire.
That was epic.
Don't ruin this. Don't ruin this top. Don't ruin this top 5. Go on with your top 5, Casey. Go on with your top 5.
That was good. I'll give you that one. Okay, so our first one. So number 5, I'm going to put Rice Krispies. Shut up, Mark.
That shouldn't even be on the list.
It's a great cereal.
To make
Now,
Rice
people-
Krispie squares with.
Now people do find Rice Krispies fun. Is it no, because they like that snap, crackle, and pop. That was the way it was marketed. So people like so basically this is just rice.
It's bland.
Oh yeah, very.
I'd rather eat white rice.
White rice had more flavor. All right, so that's number 5. Go on. What's the next one?
Second one, fourth one is Frosted Flakes.
Wow.
Frosted
Flakes.
Tony the Tiger.
Now, as a kid, I don't know if you do it now. Were you the person that added more sugar to it?
Yep.
No,
Yeah, of course. I like sugar, man.
You never did that as a kid?
No questions asked.
You know what sugars in Frosted Flakes?
As a kid,
not
yes,
not
kids
enough.
I would add sugar to it as a kid.
Just to
won't
make
lie,
sure.
I did add sugar to Kool-Aid. Like a lot.
You needed to.
No, but I mean a lot. Like too much.
What's your
Half
next
a
one?
pound, more like
Fruit
it.
Loops.
Fruit Loops.
Wow, flavor.
How did what? We had to stop for a second.
Yep.
How did Rice Krispies get number 5 and then everything has sugar in it now?
Oh, I ain't done yet.
Yeah, ain't done. You
Fruit
don't know
Loops
what
to me. Do you like Fruit Loops, Mark?
Fruit Loops are
I eat them dry. I can't eat them as a cereal.
so I want to be clear, yeah. So Rice Krispies I will eat with milk. Mm-hmm. Frosted Flakes and Fruit Loops I will eat dry. I eat them like chips.
Now, okay, I'm not asking at the end of this. But Fruit Loops to me, I never got into Fruit Loops. I couldn't do it. I don't know why. Maybe I'll buy some Fruit
They're
Loops.
all right, but they were they were mad sugary though.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
for sure.
shit, it's diabetes in a box.
What's your next one? What's the next one you got there?
Corn Pops. Just the right amount of sugar, which is still too much, right?
Now, Corn Pops to me, that's number 1.
Corn Pops are
Corn Pops to me, that's number 1.
when they're on sale at Costco for that giant ass box.
All day.
When I want to. Oh, I'll let you finish.
And
Continue.
I eat that dry as well.
Try as well. All right, and what's your number 1?
Number 1, the best cereal in the world.
I know it's coming.
Corn
I
Flakes.
knew it was coming.
Don't need to add no sugar.
Wow.
Just eat that corn flakes straight.
It's like water. It's like water to them people. Nature's fruit juice. No added preservatives.
You
nothing.
put fruits or anything in it, or you just eat
Nah,
it?
man, you don't need nothing with corn flakes.
Now, Now, Erin Moore from More Movies, shout out to Erin Moore. She also thinks cornflakes is the best cereal on the planet.
It is just it's an incredible taste.
I don't know if it's incredible. But
You can't even sell it.
Describe that taste to me, KCJ Ford.
It's greatness.
It tastes like so much plain.
Right?
it's like so much cardboard.
With that,
Tastes like inside the box.
Oh man!
so I have a theory on my love of cornflakes. When I was younger, the only cereal my parents bought was cornflakes.
Mm-hmm.
Now that probably had to do more with how much Frosted Flakes and all these other things cost versus cornflakes at the time, right? So
sure.
we didn't have a lot of money when I was a kid, when I was a young kid, right? So I think it's a comfort food.
Oh.
I think that when I eat
That's
it,
fair.
it reminds me of when I was young, and when you're young, like certain things you eat that just brings you back to that
Poor
level of
time.
comfort,
The time when I was poor.
right?
Now, I was going to ask you, kind of break
I
down.
don't want to say I was poor. Like I wasn't poor.
Yeah, but
that's
we get it.
My parents bought. They didn't buy the fancy cereals. I never got the fancy cereals until I got older.
I want to try and break this down. Now, do you rate the cereals that you can eat dry higher than the ones with milk?
Except for cornflakes, yes.
Yeah. So the fact that you can eat them dry, they go up higher in your list.
Cornflakes, Fruit
Interesting.
Loops, Frosted Flakes. I eat them like chips. And
Now-
they're great.
Corn Pops normally would be my number one, Smythe. That would be my number one. But I found one even better.
Captain Crunch.
No, that is diabetes in a box.
Yeah.
that is sugar in little granules forms. But Reese's Puffs.
Oh.
Have you had these?
No.
When I want to spoil myself sometimes, I'll buy a box of those.
Like those remember mini wheats?
I never ate those.
Sugar.
I never ate those, man.
It's too healthy.
Now, did you eat
The whole side of it was sugar.
Yeah, I had wheat on the other side, though. Can't do that.
Did you eat the big ones or you the little mini ones? Yeah, the mini ones.
Big ones when I was a kid. I think the mini ones came out a little later.
Yeah, they came out a little later.
I was always a Lucky Charms guy.
I love Lucky Charms.
Marshmallows are the best.
See, I didn't have these as a kid. Right? Like I said,
They had the bootleg ones.
I think my parents didn't buy nothing. And I don't think it's because they couldn't afford it. I honestly think they just didn't buy it. It was cornflakes and Shreddies.
Shreddies.
Shreddies
Right?
sucked.
Yeah, I like Shreddies. I ate those dry too. But I really do, like I said, I really do think it's a comfort thing. But maybe Rice Krispies is there too with the comfort food. But Corn Pops, man, when my parents got that membership to Costco, and my sister was born, so all of a sudden we were getting all the fancy foods, all the fancy cereals.
Real
that
love
had
in the house now.
that had color and stuff, right?
Had a kid they finally liked.
right?
Any questions about his top five there, Mark?
So highly questionable, man.
Highly questionable.
Listen. Mark was at my house damn near every other day eating these cereals. Maybe not cornflakes, but he was eating the middle three.
Hey man,
For sure.
life gives you lemons. You make lemonade, eh? That's all I can say. But yeah,
All right.
I don't understand
That
how
was a
you,
good top five. That was a good top
I
five.
don't know, Casey. You're a little weird, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
all
good.
right.
We got a good. That was a good top five.
Cornflakes.
NHL finals. Anything you guys want to talk? Okay, you guys stay quiet. Smythe,
I know hockey. I can talk about it.
Anything you want to talk about this? Anything you want to talk about?
St. Louis messed up in game one. Boston came out dead because they were off forever, and then they let them right back in the game. The Boston Bruins, it's super unfortunate that the first round was super exciting with all the new teams beating out all the old school guys, and the one team that got through just bludgeoned the rest of the East, and now it looks like I feel like they're going to steamroll the Stanley Cup final. So I know they're.
I thought the Bruins were the second best team in the league. That's why I picked. Sorry, I'm just pulling up our things. I picked them in 5. You picked the Bruins in 6, and then Wells picked the Blues in 6.
Yeah.
We were watching the game, and I was like, in the beginning, I'm like, are the Blues actually going to take this game? The only benefit, it's kind of like the Raptors when they played, was it the Bucks in game 1 where they were, was it the Bucks game 1?
Yeah,
where they were pretty much
yeah.
pretty much dominating the whole thing. And then, because Boston wasn't that great the whole game, and it was only their fourth line, because their top line was not scoring.
They came out dead. Too
So,
much rest.
That maybe something good looking forward, like they can play with them. I personally don't think so. I think Boston has a lot in the tank. Yep. Binghamton playing well again. Tuukka Rask woke up. And again, the top line hasn't showed. Right now, as we're watching, it's 2-2. Going into overtime. Excuse me.
And where Boston's just had a horseshoe in overtime games this year. I don't know. I feel like it's almost at the point where it's just destiny for this team to pull it out. Like they understand how to play finesse hockey when they need to, and they also understand you got to play beat 'em up, tough, heel bad guy hockey when you got to. And they have both sides of it. I don't know. I'm almost just appreciating them now.
Do you know what the Blues' records is in Stanley Cup Finals?
No, it's not good, is it?
So this is the fourth time they've gone to Stanley Cup Finals.
Are they 0-3?
They have not won a game yet.
That's rough.
The Blues have gone to the Stanley Cup.
Was Brett Hull still in St. Louis?
No. So you obviously don't know the story. So what happened is, I think it was in the 60s. That's when they expanded. So they didn't expand 1 or 2.
6.
They expanded 6.
And they're all their own division.
So what they did is they took the original 6 teams, put them in the East, and all the new expansion teams put them in the West. With the original 6 teams still keeping all their guys. So
disrespect.
There was a rough finals.
So the Blues were the best out of the expansion team. So they went to the Stanley Cup 3 times. They placed Montreal twice, and they placed the Bruins once. Lost every time. Just annihilated every time. And
they'll get a win this time.
If you see that famous shot of Bobby Orr flying through the air, that's against the Blues.
That's horrible.
So, and again, now they come back 4 times, still haven't won a game in the Stanley Cup.
I feel sorry for Brett Hull because Brett Hull put some years into that team.
Brett. He played in Chicago for so long, and then he played for like 12 teams after Chicago. I don't feel sorry for Brett Hull. What was it? 2 years he was on the Blues? 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
Really?
It wasn't that long.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I swear it was a lot.
No,
man.
he was on Chicago a long time.
Brett Hull?
Yeah.
I won't say 2. I'll say like 3. Because I feel like him and Gretzky.
Yeah, bring that one up. I feel like Brett Hull's there for a while, man.
I don't know.
Because that was when I was a huge hockey fan.
Listen to this guy. How many years? Guess.
I want to say at least
5.
at least 4 or 5 seasons. Because I remember
that was out of nowhere. So you got it.
I say 4 at least.
4.
I used to watch hockey,
But I feel
We're such a confident 5.
I feel like he's been around for at least 4 seasons in St. Louis before he left.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? Serious? Mark, you want to add your 2 cents?
No, I remember seeing. I saw some stats, and Tuukka Rask played pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is the main reason. If he can hold it up for the next 3 games, get a clean sweep, and maybe
he's been playing well this whole playoff run.
Hey, he's no stranger, man.
I mean, we really think about it. The team that challenged Boston Bruins the most was the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round.
The first round. What's the stat?
Wow, it's like 7.
It's 7.
7
when he played his whole career there. Who was I
man.
thinking about? I was thinking about somebody else then.
Had to be someone else.
It was somebody else because he didn't even play in Chicago.
The Golden Jet, Bobby Hull.
Because Brett Hull played there, and then he left from.
He went to Chicago that went to the Blues. I'm thinking about somebody else. I must have been thinking about somebody else. Yeah. Brett Hull played 7 seasons there.
Yeah, he played forever, man. Then he went to because he left there. He went to Dallas after, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to Dallas, then he went to Detroit, then he went to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there, that was the closest person.
Sir?
I guess the closest number.
Are we playing Price Right Rules?
Yeah. You know what? You win. Closest without going over, KCJ.
KCJ Ford won the Showcase Showdown.
Yeah.
Both.
He gets both showcases.
For a person who doesn't watch hockey at all, you guys should be ashamed.
You threw a number out, Casey.
I don't know.
I knew he played for the team for a while. I agreed with
you. I don't know who I was thinking about. Ronick.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy Roenick.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I even knew Jeremy.
Sure you did.
What's next?
Gym Corner with Mark. We're gonna try a new segment.
Gym Corner.
So basically, what we're gonna try and do now is Gym Corner with Mark. Since he's in the gym a lot, maybe have some funny stories and whatnot.
That's my job. I got some stories. I don't know if they're necessarily fall off your chair funny. Some are a little awkward because I am a personal trainer, so I do deal with. I'm that cheap version of a people's therapist. So I hear a lot of stories about either people unhappy with their husbands, their wives, their jobs.
Their husbands.
Well, their husbands?
You heard right.
I train female and male clients. I'm not.
Well, people complain about their husbands and their wives too?
I'm telling you, I'm a cheap version of a therapist. So
Mark would be the ideal person to complain.
Because I'm a remember I build a good rapport with people. So we talk. I generally ask all my clients, like, if I see them on a Monday, I ask how the weekend was. They'll usually talk about their families. And at some point, once they're comfortable with me, they'll share. They're like, yeah, I went away with the family, or, my mother-in-law that comes in that I don't like came in for the weekend. So I get to the point where I kind of know certain things. So I kind of hear some stuff. I've had some stuff. I've been training for about almost 4 years now. So I've heard some stories.
You know why wives complain about their husbands too, though, right?
Because he's a nice guy?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm unbiased, first and foremost. Thank you very much.
Anyway, what funny story do you got?
Okay, it's not a big long one, but when my first year I started training, I got hired on. I worked at Good Life. For everyone that's in Canada knows what Good Life gyms are. Came in as a personal trainer, and then same time I got hired on. Another guy got hired, older guy. Not the smartest guy. Didn't look the part at all.
When you say didn't look the part, what do you mean? Didn't look the part?
You look more like me than like you.
Yeah, for people that have seen Smythe, he's not. If you know if you have a vision of what a personal trainer looks like, this guy was the exact opposite.
You see, I used to think about this. I'm like, how is somebody who's not fit gonna tell me how to get fit? But it's more than knowledge, isn't it?
No,
don't get me wrong. This guy was book smart. He's book smart. He studied kinesiology. He knew stuff. But great, anyone can be book smart. But if you don't look, how are you gonna know the knowledge and never apply it to yourself?
I don't know if I agree with this, but continue with the story.
So whatever.
I'm with Mark.
So anywho, now we get hired on. Guy, he means well. We always make fun of him, anyways. So one time now,
anyone who starts sets off, he means well, but that guy's about to get roasted.
You bully him all the same.
No, but he meant well. He always meant well. He always tried to work out with people, and he would start working out with you and then disappear because he just couldn't handle the workouts. But anywho, so one day he comes to a group of us and he asks us to him, it seemed like a logical question. He was like, the barbell, there's the barbell, the Olympic barbell is sitting there. He's like, if there's 245s on each side, if I take off both weights on one side, will it stay? Obviously, just looking at it, for people that don't know, Olympic barbell is 45 pounds. And now there's 245s on each side. So total weight's 225 pounds. He's saying if I take off 90 pounds off of one side, will the bar stay straight? Obviously, it won't. It's just like a scale. If I take off all the weight on one side, it's going to fall over.
I thought you said he was book smart.
He was.
Didn't seem like you knew
kinesiology.
kinesiology.
Oh, you mean on one side?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said both sides.
No,
wait, it would
no.
stay. Oh, just on one
He's
side.
taking off 90 pounds off of one side, so leaving 240 pounds on the other side, asking people to stay. Obviously, like Casey, he is book smart, but book smart to what he knows. So kinesiology, ask him anything he can answer.
Please tell me you did it.
So now, I wasn't there at the moment it happened. But at some point now,
I've seen this happen before.
yeah, we fast forward a little bit. A couple days later, they're like, yeah, he got a client, some older gentleman. But then I was like, okay, we're happy for the guy. Find out the story is he was actually now taking weight off a barbell. Same scenario. Took him off one side. Thing tilted, hit the man in the head. Oh! So as far as I guess to kind of smooth things over, they'd given the guy 6 sessions for free, and he became his personal trainer for those 6 sessions to kind of, smooth things over.
Oh, he still had the job. Okay.
Yeah. It was an accident on his part, but real stupid because
I'm sorry, an accident on his part?
Hey, we told him it wouldn't work.
And a 6-year-old could have told him that wouldn't work. That's a seesaw. Anyway, go on, sorry.
But that was it. Like, we saw that, so it was like, when I found out and other people found out, we're like, really? We're like, we told you. We told you what would happen, and you still tried to do it anyways.
That's hilarious. I've seen it happen. I just never. I never see it hit somebody.
For everyone that's listening, you see it on those.
Are you serious? You guys see this often?
Yeah, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen at least twice.
If you watch social media, you'll see it on gym fails and stuff like that, where people will take off one way on one side. Obviously, you already see it unraveling already, but they still do it anyways.
But this is okay. I don't. I'm sorry.
Casey's just applying basic math to this situation.
I don't go to the gym. I don't work out. Right?
Clearly.
That was shots fired. Shots fired in close quarters, people. Shots
You
fired.
were gonna say clearly to me.
Whoa!
It's like a shotgun in a box here, man.
I was gonna let that sit.
You're lucky I love you, bro. So what was my point?
You've never been to the gym. We've seen this a lot of times.
Gym, right? I've never seen. This is common sense. I don't understand how anyone could think you could take 90 pounds off of one side and not
Leave it
the thing would
empty,
fall.
and 90 pounds would take it down the other side.
Like this is. You don't even need to be a mathematician. This is less than common sense.
Casey looks angry for you guys.
I think for the fact of him, he was saying that because there's still 45 pounds distributed evenly, that should balance out.
Makes no sense.
Because he's working the angles. He's working the angles, saying that 45 pounds distributed evenly and 90 pounds on one side, it shouldn't necessarily tip over instantly. It should balance to some degree.
You're trying to justify what he's thinking.
I instantly knew he was a dummy.
I knew he was that dummy.
And this is not the first time, because he's always said a lot of questionable stuff in like our daily meetings about.
This is the first time he's gotten
before you get sued, but still.
Oh no, I wanted. But the thing is, like I said, he always said very questionable things. Like you'd kind of raise your eyebrow or ask, like, what the hell kind of questions. But that's what it was. Like I said, that was my first experience ever in personal training. Ever having to deal with someone that was a professional,
quote unquote.
Hey, Mark was like, "I'm going to be good at this job."
Yeah, so that was my funny moment for my first ever experience in the gym as a trainer.
That's a good story. I have to stop giving the human race so much credit. So
Human race is idiotic. Like we're doomed. We're doomed.
Just
all right. So in honor of Wellesley, I'm gonna do some either or. This is his segment.
it's like he passed away.
I mean, the way he's talking.
Well, the way Dwayne or Nash is saying it is like he got fired.
We're burying him right now.
The way Nash is going on is like he gave Wells his walking papers.
Let me do the segment. All right, guys. All right. So you'll get the gist of. Have you guys played either or with Wells?
Don't even explain it. Just give them. And
Yeah.
they'll know.
You know
I'll-
either or.
let's
So
just
we'll
shotgun
figure
it.
this out. So wine or beer?
Wine.
Wine or beer?
Wine.
Wine.
All right.
The guy that doesn't drink even picked wine.
I used to. Kind of like I never did.
Cats or dogs? Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
I go dogs. Actually, no, I'll go cats. I'll go cats.
Wow.
Cats?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like going outside if I don't have to.
Oh, you know what? Mark Swato had a dog at one point. That's why.
Yeah, temporarily. Or indirectly.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Waffles.
Pancakes.
Really? The guy with the freezer full of... Never mind.
What you talking about, Willis?
I still have a bag of those Eagle waffles.
They don't make chicken and pancakes. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, pancakes at that
Pancake house?
American restaurant up by the airport.
IHOP?
No, it's such an S or something like that. They're great. I remember eating them, and I was thinking to myself, man, some 16-year-old probably made this in the back. But they were incredible.
Cake or pie?
Ooh,
Cake.
That's a hard
I
one.
hate pie.
Apple pie.
Cake or pie?
Pie is too much filling.
I would choose cake, but you guys know me. I don't eat too many of those things.
Vanilla cake.
No, ice cream cake, my
I
friend.
did say cake.
Ice cream cake, my friend. Ice cream
Ice
cake.
cream cake. I'll take cake too.
It's not. It's not a cake. It's the shape of a cake. It's actually ice cream. Just saying.
Cersei or Joffrey?
Joffrey.
Cersei or
Who's more
Joffrey?
evil? Who do I like more?
Just pick.
I'm just giving you a name. You decide. Cersei's or Joffrey?
Cersei, I go.
Joffrey owns my heart, bro, forever.
That's either. That's it. That's
But Joffrey was the great. Yo, every week I wanted to watch just to see what he would do. He was the best.
I think Cersei was more calculated. That's why.
I'm sure she was, but Joffrey was like 12.
Joffrey was just straight up. Well, that's valid point.
All right,
was
so
amazing.
let's move on to Smythe's greatest band tournament.
That's it? No more either or? I thought it was one
That
more.
was a quick segment.
Quick segment.
I
Quick segment.
actually like that game.
Right? It was nice and fun. Okay, guys, we moved on to round 2, the greatest band of all time tournament, and we have to go fast because it's getting late. I'm just going to read off a little bit on these bands. I actually need to know who you guys prefer over the other one. Let's not dig too deep into it. Let's rock and roll. Okay?
I wouldn't even know half of them.
Well, you know what? You're going to know all of them because we've been through one round.
You're going to know quite a bit.
Metallica. 10 studio albums, 4 live albums, 37 singles, 39 music videos, 9 Grammy Awards, and 20 nominations. That's around 50%. That's a very good rate, by the way. Okay? One of the most commercially successful bands of all time, over 125 albums sold. Do you guys know Enter Sandman?
Yes. Everyone knows Enter Sandman.
Master of Puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Not by name, but probably by sound.
Yeah, you've heard all these medals.
Insane Anger. Those are my 3. They're up against Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode had 54 songs the UK singles top and 17 top 10 albums. UK. They're a UK band. But they're famous for basically creating electronica.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say? Personal Jesus. We all your own. Dun, 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 a personal. He doesn't.
You're talking
I'll
to
play
me.
it for you later. You'll go, oh yeah.
How do you get a vote, man?
You're talking to me here, man.
And just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. Okay, they're a revolutionary, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They're up against each other in round 2.
And you want me to vote?
That's all you information you get on.
So
it.
hold on. Okay, I want to know what was the okay. Well,
You don't need to know previous rounds.
No. I'm saying like the duration or the height of both of these careers. Because I get
the length of the career.
Oh,
Metallica
the height of these each like the height of Metallica
was probably early, late '80s, early '90s. Depeche Mode was 70s.
That's what I'm saying. Because I'm only asking because he said that Depeche Mode created like electronica. So I want to know where I want to know where that timeline was, right?
In the early '70s, yeah.
So I go with Depeche Mode.
Metallica.
Depeche Mode.
Wow.
Who you voting for?
Depeche Mode. Twitter goes Depeche Mode. Instagram goes Metallica. Depeche Mode is on to the next round. Amazingly enough. Next round.
Twitter voted who?
Twitter voted for Depeche Mode. Instagram Metallica. Instagram has more voters.
It's the UK, man.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
Jackson 5 sold more than 100 million records worldwide. Also, the first group to debut with 4 consecutive #1 hits on the Hot 100. I Want You Back, ABC, The Song You Saved. Do you guys know how that one goes? Oh, you do? Good. And I'll Be There. Nice. Mm-hmm. They are, unfortunately, up against the Rolling Stones.
Oh.
The forefront of the British invasion. I don't know. They're them. I Can't Get No, Paint It Black. They're one of the biggest bands of all time.
If not the biggest.
I gotta go Rolling Stones because they've had a longer career, man.
Jackson 5 though.
But MJ broke that up quick. If he never left, they could have probably been as great as the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, he's best in the game. Casey?
Yeah, I can't consider Michael Jackson's career as part of it.
No.
So Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. Man, Instagram went the Rolling Stones. Jackson 5, Twitter. Rolling Stones are through.
Who'd you go for?
Rolling Stone.
Okay.
Now, the only reason...
You gotta say it.
I'm sorry. The only reason I went Rolling Stones is because longevity in the music. Like you said, Michael Jackson killed the Jackson 5 super quick. They had a lot going, but, Nirvana received 12 awards and 25 nominations, winning an American Music Award, Brit, and Grammy Award. They only had 3 albums, and they were done within 5 years. But they are Nirvana. Inducted to the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2014 in its first year of eligibility. Obviously, Come As You Are, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Heart-Shaped Box, up against the Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins. Don't gotta say much more. I'll go with that.
Easy.
I prefer the Smashing Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Wow. Twitter and Instagram go Nirvana, but I'm also going to go Smashing Pumpkins due to longevity. Nirvana's lack of time actually on the scene does hurt them in this sense.
I just think Smashing Pumpkins better.
Yeah, well, that's that. Actually, the only reason it takes Smash Pumpkins all the way through doesn't matter who they're up against.
That's not true, but go on.
Yeah. Next up, NWA. Original lineup formed in 1986, consisted of Arabian Prince, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, DGL, and MC Ren joined later in 1987. Straight out of Compton.
He joined later?
Yeah.
Who?
Don't they have like 2 albums?
Who?
Yeah.
NWA, MC Ren.
Yeah, he came in.
I thought he was in the beginning. Anyway, go on. He's whatever. I'll take his word for it. Go on.
Straight out of Compton, 1988. Basically shocked music. First hardcore rap album to debut on the Billboard 200 at number 1. And Rolling Stone ranked NWA's number 3 on the 100 greatest bands of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Up against the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Again.
Really?
Longevity, man. They changed. NWA changed genre for a minute, but that genre pretty much.
It changed it for. No, it completely changed hip hop. NWA
It changed hip hop,
completely changed hip hop.
Yeah, but you don't have groups like, you don't have a group like NWA.
Yeah, you do.
Who?
G-Unit? To be like one of.
But they don't. No, they remember.
They invented gangster rap.
Yes.
No, I'm saying G-Unit's not the same as NWA.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No,
well,
I'm saying,
it's kind of.
yeah,
but they invented gangster rap.
Yeah, they created gangster rap, but not.
I think
But
it's NWA, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
no, but again, it's longevity. They
Anyway,
didn't last
sorry.
long.
You're going for the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Casey?
NWA.
Nash, NWA, Smythe?
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Instagram, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Twitter ties. Tiebreakers, total votes. Red Hot Chili Peppers is through. I will say this. NWA was instrumental and they did make a change.
Yeah, we said that.
But in terms of great brands, the Red Hot Chili Peppers have been playing for 20 years, making fantastic music. In terms of longevity, in terms of actually being a great band. Hip-hop hasn't done so well. Up next, though, we got Migos. Released the commercial debut single Versace in 2013, taken from their mixtape. Billboard entries, Bad and Bougie, peaking at number 1. Motorsport with Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Stir Fry, Walk It Like I Talk It. The Culture 2. What Migos is doing right now is actually technically unprecedented. You have 3 members in a group. They're creating number 1 single after number 1 single, and they're all branching off with each individual creating number 1 singles. This is a run that we might not be able to appreciate until later, but it's actually
Wu-Tang? G-Unit?
Wu-Tang didn't have a run like this, I don't think. Nor did G-Unit. Not yet.
G-Unit
Yeah.
did. G-Unit did.
Wu-Tang had more members that broke off. And
Yeah,
still
but
made
G-Unit
stuff.
had the same run. Anyway,
Number
continue.
ones, Number ones. Unfortunately, they're up against Pink Floyd.
It was who?
Pink Floyd.
I go Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Just one of those.
Casey?
It's not a good day for hip-hop.
No.
This is
Has it been for a while? Jeez.
He's been, the way his tournament's set up is like you're basically getting rid of good acts like really quickly.
Pink Floyd.
Chopping blocks, man.
Pink Floyd is through. Many critics consider Led Zeppelin to be one of the most successful, innovative, influential rock groups in history. Stairway to Heaven? Anybody?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Immigrant Song, Whole Lotta Love. Don't have to say much more about them. All right. Fine. They're up against Pearl Jam. Thank you. Pearl Jam, you said they're the leaders of the 90s
Grunge.
grunge revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're the forefront? Are they the top band, you think? In
Yes,
comparison?
I would consider them the top band. of
How
grunge.
big was grunge?
It was only about 10, 15 year run, maybe.
Pearl Jam was good. I remember listening to Pearl Jam, but not like.
Who's better than them as far as grunge is concerned?
I don't know.
Exactly.
First year of eligibility, 2017. They were invited into the Hall of Fame. Led Zeppelin maybe invented the Hall of Fame. But how long is how much has Led Zeppelin's music actually sustained as we go on in
It's
time?
if
If you can name 3 songs, I'll agree with you right now.
We're not going to do
can't
that
name-
anyway. We're not going to do that.
but I've listened. I've heard Led Zeppelin. I'll go with Led Zeppelin though.
Wow.
Casey?
I'll go with Roger.
Pearl Jam. That's just personal for me.
Pearl Jam here too. Twitter goes Led Zeppelin, Instagram Pearl Jam, but it was 55 to 45% close vote. But Pearl Jam is through, and not because Led Zeppelin wasn't great, just because I think other bands' music stood longer through the test of time. Okay, next up, Outkast. one of the few rappers who released a double album that went diamond. Hey Ya, The Way You Move.
Is there another hip hop group that went diamond after a double album?
I don't think,
think so. Anyway, continue.
I can't think of anyone that just put one out. Anyway. The last thing they did a couple years ago, they reunited in 2014 to celebrate the 20th anniversary, doing 40 anniversaries, Coachella, 6 Grammys, 25 million records worldwide, The Way You Move, Miss Jackson, Hey Ya. Another unfortunate, they're up against the Beatles. Over 800 million records sold worldwide.
Pull out the guillotine, man.
I don't know how it ends up this way. But
because you didn't see them properly. That's how it ends up this way.
Unfortunately, when it comes to the greatest band of all time, you got to win some good matchups if you're going to be considered at the top. The Beatles are the Beatles. Do I have to read anything else off?
No, but I'm still going Outkast, though.
Wow.
My group.
This list is ridiculous.
This is second round, by the way. Second round.
There's a lot of good bands. I'll say that.
Beatles have to. It's the Beatles. Beatles have some great music.
Outkast made the South stand out.
Hey, Wells.
I think the Outkast is great too, but
Hey, Wells.
Beatles.
Outkast.
Did you say Hey Wells Outkast?
Yep, Outkast.
I'm going Beatles. Twitter went Outkast. Instagram was 50-50 at the time. Do you want me to check live voting?
Who won?
Nash hates when I do this.
Let's go live voting. He says 50-50.
This is the one time I have to go to the live votes. Because
Come on, Outkast. Come on.
I think Outkast is through.
Come on, Outkast.
50-50 still. On total votes, Outkast is through.
Let's talk about it. Someone made it through, man.
Wow.
Continue. Let's go.
At the end, the Tragically Hip. Canadian band from Kingston, Ontario. Gordanian passed away. 13 studio albums, 2 live albums, EPs, 54. 33 years. They won 16 Junos. I guess that's their biggest claim to fame. Favorite Tragically Hip songs?
Keep going.
No.
Keep going.
Do you guys have a favorite one?
Keep talking.
What's your favorite one?
I don't know. Anyway, keep going. Keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay, up against Soundgarden. Spoonman, Black Hole Sun, lead singer, passed away last year. Suicide. Grammy Awards.
I like Black Hole Sun, but I go the opposite side.
Tragically Hip.
Yeah, I'll go Tragically Hip.
Casey?
I'm gonna go with the Hip.
The Hip.
Hip is through.
I know your short-term stuff.
Instagram took the Hip 75%, 25%.
You trying to be cool or something, Casey?
People actually do say the Hip.
The Hip. That's a.
What was it? What were we talking about earlier?
Scotia.
The Scotia and the Hip. So long starts with the. Then it's all good. All right. So that's halfway through the second round. Some upsets in there. Next week we'll do the second half.
I don't know how the Beatles got knocked out.
You know what? Twitter and Instagram are savage. That's all I'm saying. They're current.
Yeah, man.
Twitter and Instagram are current.
That's it. Is that it for tournament, or are you going to go keep going?
Do you want me? Can we do more?
Yeah, you have to go quick, remember?
Oh, well, that's all I got. I only got 8.
Okay, well, you're not... well, this is it. We podcasted. Tell the people where they can find us, Smythe.
You can find the Team Podcast on your favorite places to find pods: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, as well as every other one that you go to, as well as our favorite social media sites: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my personal favorite, Tumblr.
And, of course, you can find all this podcast goodness on theparkdaily.com. Download all the podcasts. Horseplay, where you can still listen to Wells on the Horseplay podcast. The Team Podcast. Yeah. Where can I find you, Mark?
Instagram, Alchemist Trainer, _Patine, each word. Yeah, a lot of posts about fitness. I do give some advice. If you have questions, hit me up. I do respond for the most part. So,
In case you want to give her your Twitter handle. No? Your Instagram? No? Okay, well, I tried.
No social media for me.
Contact him by pigeon or regular mail, please.
Or smoke signals.
Oh, man.
And we out. Him with that theme song.
Nash, Wells, and Smythe host the Team Podcast. We love sports just like you.